You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now, it's our turn.
Yes, it is. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Outside the Box. Another, a lot more beautiful evening tonight, and slightly warmer than it was last night. So, welcome to Outside the Box. I am your host, Kate of Gaia. Great big hello to, I know we're getting new listeners all the time, so I just want to, actually, I hate that word, listeners. No. We have more guests at the table, and it's about time you showed up. The place has been sitting waiting for you. Belly up to the table, your glass is full, and the table is spread with every manner of delicacy, vegetarian of course, that you can imagine. You know, there you go. No consciousness was destroyed in the making of this meal. There you go. All right. Oh, what a day, what a day. I had a hell of a time just getting logged in here tonight, so not sure what that's all about. Kind of a normal thing, though, once in a while, but yeah, I couldn't, my Internet Explorer wasn't reacting. It was just kind of looking at me going, well, it reminded me of a jarhead, actually. Huh? So anyway, I've learned long ago to look at it and go, well, I'll get on the air when I get on the air, and lo and behold, I had to call in, I think, 4 times just to get the connection. So, but here we are. We're in the game. We're in the fray. And, hello, Dr. Frank, UK. Oh, in God we trust. Well, that's probably why I added you to the room. There we go. Just a couple of shout-outs right now. Got the link. Yes, sorry, guys. It was just too much just to get on the air tonight. I didn't even get a chance to do any of the promo stuff. So if you guys, yes, I will, Ninja. If you guys can maybe post these around, that would be great. Thank you. I'll post it in the room again just to make sure people have it. I know I posted it there quickly, but there you go. All right. That's really the only place other than my Facebook. But we crossed 2,300 new table members today, so that's pretty cool. People are going up fast and furious. I'd say it's shocking me, but it's not. A couple of interesting things that did come up today. I really haven't had much of a chance. I did the show this afternoon. There was a couple of phone calls with folks, as usual. And, I really didn't get a whole lot of time to catch up on much of anything. And, there we go. A little shout-out for Susie Eubank. Just tagged me. Yeah, great. See what I mean about Mel and how she interviewed? Yeah, he kept me right on the straight and narrow. So for anyone that wants to get that, I did post a link, but make a habit of stopping by freedomcentral.info and keeping an eye on what Mel and her husband are doing in terms of awakening. And, of course, a little special place for Gemini dragons in my universe. We get shit done. That's a fact. So, absolutely. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Susie. And, and you're a real inspiration, too. Thank you. This is how we co-create. I am the net result of everything you ever imagined that I came into contact with, which is really cool. I think, How are you liking your creation, boys and girls? I'm it. And that's more literal than I could care to shake a stick at. So I do want to get to the cover of my Facebook. There was an interesting story that came out today, and I can only imagine. It's my comment, Vincent? Bye-bye. So I've got I did share the photo, but not the information with it, so I'm going to scroll down to the information. It's just very interesting, Here we have a Pope just stepped down, which is, again, look at the allegories of this, guys. It's not a physical game we're playing here. The sooner people realize that, the sooner the veils come down for everybody. It's allegorical. And what we've seen in the last few months is a Pope for the first time in history stepping down. And just got word that Cardinal, what's his name? Bercioni, whatever. I'll know in a sec. One of the guys actually named in the ITCS documents for crimes against humanity. He just stepped down. He's the Secretary of the Vatican State. So, and of course, when I see things like that, I have to get into the allegory. And, oh, isn't that interesting that, okay, top one got knocked down. And, of course, the bottom one, right below that, the next rung down, is Secretary of State. And the Secretary of State everywhere on the planet, more particularly Vatican, is responsible for deed polls. Birth certificates. They're the ones that you need to talk to tell them that we're onto the fraud, and that's not our intent to willfully commit fraud any longer or aid and abet in it thereof, because we know that there was a deception at birth, that was intent to commit fraud by deceit, non-disclosure, by your system, and to get us into contracts that we are completely unaware of as we walk our lives, aiding and abetting in our own fraud by using a name that we never owned. Well, we did possibly, momentarily, but again, even with a marriage contract, either through church or state, it's both the same thing. As soon as you start seeing the singularity, you'll be fine. Church and state are the same thing. This is about separation of church and state. That's not church and state to separate. No, this is about you separating them. Okay? Just a different perspective on the same statements. And when you kind of come to terms with that, if you want proof of it, just go and try to get some identification without a birth certificate, and better yet, try to exist in the Whore of Babylon, Commerceville, without a mark of the beast, i.e. identification. Or that's what I like to say, identification. And again, there's the word, I'd, as in past tense of me, right? So it is a lot more revealing. It's only 2 letters, it's like the word if. A whole lot of stuff going on around if, though. And, I, or id, dent, you see, den of the lions, right? T, den of love, holding. I was wanting to get to phi, identify, right? Phi is a sacred geometry, 21st letter, God letter, 777, 21, 21st letter in the Greek alphabet, right? So, I did spend a few minutes listening a bit back to the Melvie interview. I just wanted to, I always have a different vibe whenever I'm being interviewed, so that was just, wasn't a vanity thing. It's like, definitely more comfortable being interviewed than doing this. But there you go. I'll share what I can while we're on the air. And sitting around this beautiful big, it's getting huge. Like huge. So thank you for that. This is beautiful to see all your shining orbs that far outshine that thing in the sky that everyone likes to worship based on the religions here. I did mention this morning that I was going to talk a little bit about Orion tonight, my feelings on it. I don't have theories, I just have feelings. It's for me, it's, looking at so many things surrounding Orion and the fascination thereof, and of course the Vatican having such intense focus on it, be it in the paintings, in the ceilings of like Sistine Chapel and other, centuries-old cathedrals. Of course, how would they know what Orion looked like unless there was something fishy going on here? Perhaps something almost magical is going on here in Oz. We'll ponder that one for a second. All right. So also go at Dave LaPointe, Primmerfields, and you'll see the burn marks inside the bowls, the magnetic bowls that he displays in his Primmerfields videos on YouTube. You'll see them in the first one. Actually, I think this part might be in the second. I don't know, but anyway, the burn marks look remarkably identical to these paintings as well. Isn't that funny? So I'm thinking, what's the fascination with Orion? Why are, observatories around the planet, most of them owned by the Vatican, and especially the Lucifer telescope? That should tell you something. Who are they worshiping? Oh, that's right, they're worshiping the bringer of the light. Really? Really? All right. Whose light? Isn't that interesting? Whose light? It ain't yours. Well, it's a projection. Using your power, obviously. But the night stars in the night sky are, infinite points of light. And if you look at the Orion Nebula, of course, you've got the nebula also, I prefer to call it an Anu, which is what it is, which is a nursery for stars, baby stars, youngsters. Isn't that interesting? And of course, it's spewing stars into the galaxy. And it's just a very morbid fascination that the Vatican has with it. And of course, given the track record of the Vatican and religion and control and the amount of mayhem they've created against mankind for millennia, started in Egypt, by the way. I'll tie that up together and I'll show you how evil the pyramids are. Some people listening probably can't handle that. I can think of a couple. Let me show you how evil the pyramids are. So everyone thought, oh, they're good, they're good. I don't know, I don't think Mama Gaia grew them. No straight lines in nature. And those things are straight, pretty bang-on measurements, I don't know how many documents I've went over outlining the phi ratios and pi ratios contained with the pyramids, and of course the cross-section, which is the eye of Horus in the brain. The layout, right? Pineal, hypothalamus, and pituitary. Key points, right? Hypothalamus being your higher self-connection, and that's your switchboard to you, which of course is being interfered with by the reptilian brainstem. And we can tie this all together with our meat sticks having 250 genomes that are alien to every other thing on this planet. Only in the human body these genomes exist. So my feeling on that was, well, that's probably just enough genomes to build a reptilian brainstem and, of course, a couple of adrenal glands to make sure you feel the fear. So beyond that, I don't see any other usefulness, but then I've mentioned also that my feeling on the reptilian brainstem is it's a transceiver, it's an interference. Because, of course, you have your spinal column, and first thing it hits at the top there is a reptilian brainstem. So before any information gets to your higher self, it's getting interfered with, right? It's a perfect way to interfere with the higher self. Let's throw a circuit in the middle. Oh, well, how do you bypass that circuit? Well, it's quite easy. I talked about this last night. You put your tongue to the roof of your mouth and find the little sweet spot where you can feel electrical energy, like a very, not a weak battery, but yeah, I guess a weak battery, 9-volt testing kind of thing. And you'll know, because you'll feel it, and you go, oh shit, Kate's right. Well, I'm not right. The ancient mystics were. I'm just passing information along. I'm just trying to be original in how I deliver it. The ideas aren't original. There's a lot of people out there that are claiming work of others as their own, and there's nothing original in what they're doing. And Mark Passio, I love talking with him. He summed it up pretty much the same way I do, that every crime in this universe is involving theft of energy, theft of ideas, theft of whatever. But if it's all about willfully taking something from another. Me, I just prefer to co-create. That's why when people ask me, Kate, is it okay if I pass this around? Did I post it? Yeah. Well, what do you think? And I'm at that point now. I'm just sarcastic. Listen, I put it out there. Do what you want with it. Do whatever you feel you need to do with it. That's why I put it there. It's yours. It's co-created. I've already said copyrights are for fictions. I love these people. I have copyright on that. No, you don't, moron. Copy of the feminine divine right hemisphere? Are you kidding me? Sorry, I'll be original. I'll just be in the right hemisphere, thanks. You can be all the copy you want. Not interested. And, being a singing, songwriting musician, long before I came to these realities, of course, I worked with copyright law at a publishing company. I really did. I set up myself. And got pretty good at contracts and, understanding copyrights and how it works. It's quite an intertwining little mess of garbage that is absolutely useless, just more distraction, more entraining people into, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Really? Okay, well, tell you what. The song that you wrote doesn't involve any experience at all with anyone or anything in your life, right? What do you mean it does? Of course it does. We are the sum of our experiences. The complete whole of everything we've ever went through, ever lived through. How can you claim to be original? See, here's the thing. The only way to be original is to understand that we're co-creating. And you are the original work of art, based on all the different paintbrushes you come into contact with, other people, animals, nature, chaos, order, jars, whatever the case may be. You will be the net sum of that experience, things that you have lived through, seen, experienced, right? So it's very difficult to claim anything in creation at all because you're the net result of creation. Silly. So why don't you just claim nothing and claim all at the same time? Would that not make it simpler? I happen to think it makes it very simple for me. I don't have an issue with it. Thing is, I know where things derive from with me. I've often said that the only time a song I would ever deem to be mine is the first time I play it for me. Then I'm going to have my own concepts of that song. And as soon as I play it for anyone, if you get a slightly different picture than me, then whose song is it? I guarantee you'll get different pictures than me. Absolutely you will. So, there you go. So don't mind me. Just kind of having a coasting kind of evening here. I'm very happy to do so, because I get to hang out with the coolest people on the planet. You! Imagine that. What are the odds? Sorry, just plugging the kettle in. Didn't get a chance to get my tea together, and excuse me. Oh, yeah, sorry, just got a little frazzled starting off with the show tonight. Like I said, I don't like having to fight my way onto the computer, so. But, hey, I got here. We made it. And, of course, for those of you interested, I know that we got a bunch of people already called in right now, but just a reminder for people. You can call in at area code 661-467-2401. And, of course, if you want to get on the board, especially to join in after, when we go into the recording part, because we generally do, that's a neat thing. When the flow starts, it just doesn't stop until Blog Talk says, thank you for using Blog Talk Radio at the end of the third hour. But anyway, yeah, you can, if you don't see the Skype pin on your page, all you have to do is refresh the page, and you'll see the Skype pin. If you want to call in, then just click on that, and it will reroute you. Don't worry about shutting down the show or anything else. It actually reroutes you and says it disconnects you, and it'll bring you to the board. So if you have any questions or you want to jump in, on your phone dial pad, just press 1. On Skype, you have to open up the little dial pad, which you scroll your mouse over the picture, and you'll see a bar pop up. Look for the plus symbol, hit that, and then you'll see another menu open up. It says Show Dial Pad right at the bottom of that. Click on that. It'll open the dial pad. Hit 1. Just like that. Yeah, isn't that fun? So, where else do we want to go? Okay, so I was talking a little bit about Orion. I want to go back to the board here. I was just on... what do you call it? Facebook. Fascist book. Yeah, okay, no one's put their hand up yet, so all right. But anyway, talking more about Orion. Yeah, I had a lot of intuitives regarding Orion and what may be involved, because I mean there is a great fascination around the planet with regards to Orion. It's one of the most recognizable, if not the most, other than the Big Dipper, Ursa Major, in our particular night sky. You know, there's a couple, but you know, the Big Dipper and Orion, they're standouts. You can't miss them, especially the belt of Orion, the 3 stars across there. And if you go due south of that, you'll see another little 3 stars, but they're not stars. One of them is actually a nebula, and that's the nebula I speak of. And you can go to YouTube and search Heaven in Orion, and there's this little short video. I think it's 3-4 minutes tops, and it's a couple of preachers, you know, doctors of religion, that put together this little journey to heaven in Orion, right? Where they talk, you know, about traveling through space to get to heaven, and they show Orion Nebula as heaven, and the throne of God is there. And I'm thinking, okay, well, these guys are really pushing this shit. I mean, we're talking some pretty slick graphics these guys did, you know. And of course, you hear the ooh and the ah and the cheers and the clapping from all the indoctrinated sheeple. that are fast asleep looking at their masters, which they give their power to, of course. Not a good thing for God to do, by the way. Oh, bird just flew into the window. Isn't that funny? Ouch. Hope he's okay. No, he flew away, so if you heard that thud, that was a bird hitting the window. I think I'm onto something here, guys. You know, they're even throwing the birds at me, for crying out loud. Shut me up. Oh, good luck. Anyway. Yeah, so I thought it was rather fascinating that they would put all this effort, you know, real slick little production, to show how the, you know, heaven and the throne of God, and of course talking about what robes Jesus will wear, and he'll put on the, I don't know, whatever the hell it was, take off the white robes and put on the robes of I'm going to kill you warfare stuff. I don't know, something like that. But, well, of course, it's a loving God, right? I mean, like Father, like Son, apparently. And I'm talking in the literal sense. You see, there's good and evil in everything. Can you see the good? Can you see the evil? And I'm sure, you know, my dad sent me down to Earth to get slaughtered. Well, and I'd be pissed at Dad, right? And then I'd be pissed off at humanity, too, for being so stupid. But that's the literal translation of it. It's a bit more allegorical than that, and I've covered that countless times. But let's get back to this, what do you call it, Vatican slap in the head. Oh, there it is. Hey, you smiley prick. There we go. Bye-bye. It's the only quote I put. Just the grins on these guys. Okay, Pope Francis, I won't be around to help you rape little boys anymore. Okay, and he's got a big grin. Okay, it's okay. We'll have someone else come in and crack the champagne bottles. Anyway, there you go. Another wizard bites a dust. Great comment. Love it. Where are we? Keep going, keep going, keep going. Bear with me here. Below that? Yes, it was. Oh, and thank you, Immortal, for putting up the Tobias Lars video. The title of it is, You Want to Know God? ? Feel and heal your fucking shadow. That is a must-watch. An absolute must-watch for anybody that's even remotely close to awakening to the allegories. Okay, here. Could it be true? Of course it is. Evil must destroy itself. We're just watching it now. I think the one comment that was made regarding the prophecies, right? No, please. There are no prophecies, and there is no history. Everything is now. So when you crack open the Bible, it's now. It's not 2,000 years ago, and it's certainly not, 5 minutes from now. It's now. You read it in the now. Okay, good. I think I made my point. And yes, thank you, Immortal, for this post too. Wow, you're just on a roll today, my friend. Thank you so much. Could it be true? Let's just read this, just so you can share in this beautiful revelation. Oh, there's that Revelations thing. We must be in the book of Revelation right now. Yes, we are. Right now. We're actually in every other book too, but it just seems to be a little bit more relevance to the relevance to Revelations. There we go. Vatican City. We are living in historic times, whereby we will see the final destruction of the Vatican, just as the prophecies foretold. All right. Already we are seeing the Catholic Church being left desolate right before it goes up in flames forever, and unprecedented events are taking place. The Cardinal, holding the second most important position within the Vatican next to the Pope, has just handed in his resignation letter. That's right, we are speaking of Cardinal Tarcisio Bertone, the Secretary of the Vatican State, and I would say the holder in due course of all the deed polls of all the kidnapped children on the planet. Just putting that seed out there for people. First, ex-Pope Benedict XVI, Joseph Benny the Rat Ratzinger, left his post, and now this past weekend, as reported by, Dagaspia.com, a resignation letter was presented by the Secretary of State Cardinal Bertone to Pope Francis as a result of pressure received by the 8 cardinals that formed the commission, formed by Bergoglio. I wonder who he is pissing off. Anyway, the Pope has not yet made a decision whether to accept the resignation or not. The signs of the times are clear. The turmoil within the Vatican is seeping out left and right. Well, yeah, when you create that much mayhem, that's the whole thing about manifesting that which you create. Careful what you wish for. Just might come true. Just saying. And one of the things that a lot of people are going to start seeing more and more is, and they can scream and kick and do whatever the hell they want until they realize, I'm just a mirror. I am just here to willfully grant wishes. That's fine. You want to see what your creation, your intent is. I'm right here. So be careful what you manifest, what you create. Some mirrors reflect it very clearly. That's why I trust my own mirrors more than anything else. Yeah, mine. That's you, by the way. When I look out, I see the reflections of the things that I need to see in me. But also, that doesn't take... See, taking responsibility is not just about taking it upon oneself, it's about taking it upon all. Right? So there is complete responsibility in self and none whatsoever. It has to be both. Duality says so. To get a singularity, you have to have complete responsibility and complete non-responsibility. And everything outside of me is complete non-responsibility, and everything inside of me is complete responsibility. You know, we can look at each other and see the reflections of our actions. And I've said this many times before, I think people are getting it a lot easier now when I speak of the tricky little bastard, the ego, right? A lot of times, and I've had this chat with people, and they weren't getting it, and that's okay. I just kept going and kept saying the same things, and I'll keep saying it right now. You see, when, let's say if someone comes at me with ego, I'm just going to mirror it. I'm not going to be an effect to it, but I will mirror it. Here's you. Let me show you you. And you'll notice that when people get a grip on themselves, and when they calm down, so does the mirror. It's not like I'm getting stressed out. I've been on stage a long time. I can manifest a lot of pseudo-emotions just to make sure I'm pushing the right buttons. Yeah, you kind of get that way when you're in hidden terror of yourself. You learn how to do that. Lots of neat tricks. Lots of neat tricks. For self-preservation, that's all. But let me see, scrolling up here. Yes, and I think Kevin Annette put a post up as well. And I have to again, you look at all the people are. Yeah, there we go. That's Kevin's reporting the same thing. June 4th, Vatican Secretary of State set to resign. So there we go. Second highest position, generally the one you want to look at, because the figurehead's the distraction. You want to find the assistant. Do you ever notice in the movies, allegorically, that you have someone like a king or a queen or whatever, and there's always some nasty little prick in the background manipulating and pushing buttons and doing this shit and that and the other, and usually to the unknown to the one that's in charge. Yeah, come on, you've seen the movies. Three Musketeers, you name it. The list goes on and on and on. But there's always one little instigator, third party, shit disturber that has a different agenda and generally manipulates people around them to get what they want. And that's what we're dealing with on a grand scale here. So that's why I look at things, never mind the Pope, everyone can see that. But when's the last time you thought of the Secretary of State, Vatican City? And some of the other minions gathered around that may or may not be, chances of them being benevolent are pretty slim, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I just find it interesting, that's all. A little outside the box look at it. Excuse me. All right, guys. I'm in the mood for a song. Lisa asked me earlier today to play Rescue, and I didn't have it on the board I was working on, but I have it on this one. So let's take a minute and ponder, and then we'll come back and You guys want to jump in, please? It's I do want to get into a bit more of the Orion thing. I'm not sure how much more I can cover, but it's maybe I'll just do the step A through whatever to show where my intuition came from. But in the meantime, let me see here. That's a problem with scrolling down on this thing. All right. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.
All right. Okay. Rescue. Here we go. I think if we get people emailing in, they can decide whether this song makes the album or not. All right.
Take my hand, rest your weary heart a moment. One last stand for what you've always dreamed of. Here I am, an island in your stormy waters, and rescue is just a word away. It's just a word away. I've watched you try, I've seen you spread your wings to fly, without a place to land, not so much as one horizon, but you push on through every wall that still surrounds you. Set down your stubborn pride, it's a friendship I can't hide, so take my hand. Rest your weary heart a moment. One last stand for what you've always dreamed of. Here I am, an island in your stormy waters, and rescue is just a word away. It's just a word away. You think that I don't hear you when you say you'll find that's true. It's what you cannot say, it's your eyes that give away. I know when my friend's hurting, that's why I'll share the burden. I've been where you are right now, I'm still there, still learning how. So take my hand, rest your weary heart a moment. One last stand for what you've always dreamed of. Here I am, an island in your stormy waters, and rescue is just a word away. It's just a word away. Take my hand, rest your weary heart a moment. One last stand for what you've always dreamed of. Here I am, an island in your stormy waters, and rescue is just a word away. I said rescue is just a word away. Hey, it's just a word away.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.
Indeedly do. Yeah, I should probably do some sort of a promo. Maybe get a couple other people from the station to do some promos for here, and that way we can do them. But no fear porn. When I hear people talking about chemtrails and this and that, I want to hear giggling in the background. I want to hear laughing. I'm like, ha ha, it's just them scared shitless. Look what they have to do to try to scare us, and it ain't working. Ha ha, ha, you know, that kind of stuff. That works for me. We'll call it tear porn. Tears of laughter. There you go. Anyway, just putting that out for you, Lisa. I know you're tuned in. Here we go. Now, where was I? Yeah, you know what? I was. I'll do a shout out. Anyone in Southern Ontario, if you guys want to put together something where I can kind of show up and hang out and meet and greet some people and have a little chit chat and hang out for a bit, just let me know. Set up your own thing. See, here's the thing. As long as it's within reasonable striking range, and of course these are always private events, right? Nothing public. I don't do anything public. That's what system understands, so that just kind of messes them up. So I like doing that. But by all means, if you want to get a group of people together, whatever, I'd be more than happy. Yeah, that's the thing. I would do a lot more public things, but still pick a fight, expect one. So I just make it rather difficult for the jarheads to find me. Well, I'm invisible on their radar, so. But I won't be very shortly. I've codifying a few final thoughts for this Summons of the Dead, so I think I know the direction I'm going to finish in. Like I said, I had to wait for downloads and what have you, so I know, when are you going to be finished, Kate? Well, it's done. It's like a fine wine. You can't hurry it. You got to let it breathe, right? So you pop the cork too early, you ruin it. So there we go. Oh yeah, charisma. People in the area. Well, I tell you, the easiest way for Southern Ontarians to, and it depends how far you're willing to travel too, right? I'm pretty good for about an hour to hour and a half maximum range. Because here's the thing, if I do something like that, I got show 7 nights a week. I'm doing it. You better have net where I am, because I'm doing the show from there. Okay? Sorry. The whole world matters to me, so I'm not going to, well, I can't do it tonight because I got 10 people to talk. No. I want to talk to everybody. So, and I love this, people tagging me. 1 sec. Yeah, I know. We'll talk. Hey, we'll talk on the air at the moment. Yeah, isn't that ironic? If you could see and know what I see and know, unbelievable, so funny. But yeah, and again, Skype. There's the other thing I want to keep drilling out there for people to connect. Tag me on Skype, katie.renee.thompson, and we can add you into the Love and Stuff room. There's hundreds of people in there now. katie.renee.thompson. Okay? So, really easy, katie.renee.thompson. And my call sign is Cygnus Trumps It. CYGNUS Trumps It. Oh, here, let's talk some coincidences. Every time I say Trump, I think Wright Bauer. Oh, wait a minute. The Wright Bauer. They spell it B-A-U-E-R, I believe. But if someone was to bow, they would be a Bauer, so B-O-W-E-R. Now, the Wright Bauer is, in euchre, the highest card. It takes anything. Anything. It's the Wright Bauer. So what does that tell you in an allegorical sense? Well, I'll tell you what it is. The one that bows to the right, divine, feminine, creative essence of spirit conquers all. The cards in the deck. Is that a cool allegory or what? I thought so too. I liked when I twigged on that one. That was a while back. It's neat how they just kind of jump back in, though, eh? Almost like I'm downloading or something. Oh my. Sorry, it's the last couple of days of, and it looks like a third adventure tonight brewing, so that's okay. Oh, it's got to come down. I mean, hell, if the second in command in the Vatican has to step down, shit. I'm getting it easy. Anyway, speaking of rescue, I was just wondering if, thanks, Venus. Yeah, I'll chat with you afterwards. Some people like to interfere. Yeah, there you go. Charisma. We play euchre almost every night. Too funny. Isn't it? I love it too. Oh, there's a quick little tag from Eric. Let me see. What's on your mind, my friend? Oh yeah, you want in now, my friend? I'll bring you into the call now. Just mute your mic, and I'll bring you in with me. I go real easy on new Skypies. So give me a sec. See, if people make the effort, even though they don't know anything about Skype and how it works and whatever, if they make the effort to show up, contact me, I'll hold their hand and get them. I believe Eric is already. I just want to make sure you're in the 11 stuff room. You are now. Okay, I think you left, and I tried to add you last night and forgot. I'm such a silly boo-boo. Anyway, okay, here we go. I'll bring you in on the call now, Eric. So just give me a sec, and you're in the room so you can chat with everybody. There we go. All right, and lots of new people showing up. Lots in the last week, so the room's just filling. All right, so Eric, you're in with me. If you can mute your mic, that would be great.
Okay.
All right, just for any background noise. If you want to talk, by all means, just open your mic, talk, and then close it off so that there's no background noise. It interferes with the birds, you know what I mean? Anyway, there we go. All right, so I'm just checking the Skype room here. Okay, so where was I? Oh yeah, we were talking about right Bowers and whatnot. Now, of course, left Bowers is the second in command, or second highest card. But the right always trumps it, so that's the right always trumps the left brain. Now, I've talked in the past about Cain and Abel, and for all those still in the religiocosus, Chosenitis, particularly Christian vein of things, clarify a couple of misconceptions for you. When the ministers and priests and what have you were up on the pulpit and they were telling you the story of Cain and Abel and how they, Cain came with the fruits of the field and Abel, his brother apparently, showed up with sheep. They were bullshitting you. Abel wasn't a boy, Abel's a girl. You can check all the etymology on that when you want, Hebrew and all the rest of it, and you will see very quickly that, oh my God, Abel is a girl. That's why they call it honor Abel, the right. Huh? The right, honor Abel, whoever, Joker, right? So what they're doing is they're trying to honor Abel by stealing their energy. Isn't that cool how they do that? They got you duped into fist fighting, though, eh? They got you into the anger mode, all the low frequencies. Not knowing who you are and the fact that your divine feminine was ripped from you at birth. That's why they call themselves the right, honor Abel, so-and-so. They also love your worship. Yeah, they love being treated like gods, although they're not. Those are the children of a lesser god. They've got a little ways to go to get back to the creation side versus trying to steal it, because, you see, if you want to put the duality into teams, we have those all-knowing powerless and those all-unknowing powerful, right? Going head-to-head here. And we, of the awakenings, are the unknowing, all-powerful, the ones that have been getting their energies drained lifetime after lifetime. I was going to go back to the church on this, so that's probably why I did this circular. But just I just want to put things in perspective there. If you have ability that's able, I love, right? The right hemisphere of creation, I-T, right? Note of love. And the sound, of course, you can add the Y in there because ability, or ability, whatever, Cartman. Y is the tree of life, right? It's also the fundamental question. It's the only letter that it's a vowel and a consonant at the same time. So how would they get all this energy? Well, first off, here's a step-by-step, A through whatever. First off, they got to kind of dupe us into a game by promising things to the innocent 12-year-old little girls that we all are. And we go, oh, that's cool, that's kind of neat. It's shiny and everything. And we partook of the tree of good and evil knowledge, right? And that ripped us in half, ripped us in two. Gave us duality. At least we can have a perspective on it, but the game here is to get back to our singularity. All right, so with that in mind, we went through a few civilizations here. Let's stop at Egypt for a sec. When thought entered, well, thought was there before this, but when thought entered the equation, when thought planted the seed of thought in everyone, Hermes Trismegistus of Kabbalion fame, the emerald tablets of thought. The pyramids, man-made or whatever, certainly with malintent in mind and with a sense of control. Because as far as I can recall, if I'm to believe any of the ancient histories, mankind at that time was based on masters and slaves on a grand scale. Because you had the pharaohs, right? And of course their minions and little elites and whatever else hung around them, be they of this earth or wherever, it doesn't matter. But the fundamental thing that was going on back then was humanity in a very dumbed down form getting used for our spiritual energy, which was the key, and for mining. They like to use the allegory of mining gold for the Anunnaki or whatever. See, there it is again, Anu, Naki, right? Not life. Sorry about that. Just heart without life. Anunnaki, Anu, Orion. Are you putting pieces together here? I'm just trying to show some strings here to see if we can hook these up. So you have the Anunnaki, again allegorical, or whatever, it doesn't matter. Take it literal, take it whatever way you want that works in your thought process. So we have humanity being enslaved, and of course, as the story goes, our DNA was messed with, and of course that's the point where I say, we had a couple of 250 genomes placed in the original DNA. In order to put in a perfect implant called, like I said, the reptilian brainstem adrenal gland connection, which would keep us obviously controllable and in fear, because as gods we don't feel fear. That wasn't part of our construct. We're infinite. Why would we fear anything? So we have to have that implanted in us. And they did a pretty good job, red lights. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you've been there. Okay, just making sure. All right, so we got the reptilian transceiver, which of course, like any other energetical device, be it biologic or made of metal or whatever, it's still the same thing. Bodies are biological computers. Just because they're made of meat and stuff like that doesn't mean to say it's any different than say a cyborg or a robot. I mean, with the brain in a robot, they can put sensors all over that body to give that robotic consciousness the sensation that it felt something, right? And also, sensors for smell and taste, and of course sight, cameras. You know what cameras are. Again, this is one of the things I absolutely abhor about technology, because it's the path to Atlantis again. So I'm just trying to go, wait, whoa, turn left, turn right, get out of here, right? Weave, baby, go 180. All right, so now we have these beautiful constructs in the middle of the desert, if you will, in Egypt, all the way up and down the spine of the as above, so below man, right, the Nile. And of course, these are placed at critical points. Chakra or pressure points, if you will. And when the pyramids were in their, quote, glory, unquote, the Nile ran very close to them, right up to them, actually, so the bark, like Cleopatra bark, could pull up and she'd step off and she'd be there, kind of thing. They were also coated in white limestone. Again, this is a chemical construct in terms of making giant batteries, if you will, and they were capped with gold, solid gold. And if you can visualize the real pyramid above and the holographic pyramid below, as above, so below, it's because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. You've got us looking at everything but what we need to be looking at. And all I see that as, you look at pictures within, right inside the pyramids themselves, where no light could penetrate, yet you got all these beautiful painted hieroglyphs and motifs all over the place in full color, and not a touch of soot anywhere to be found. Well, they didn't need the soot because a few of the hieroglyphs had pictures of these like elongated light bulbs, and they would draw power from the pyramid. That's how they did it. The pyramids were effectively batteries. And of course, humanity would be in bread and circus mode, and also under the complete control of mind control by the Ra-Ka pharaohs and the Ra shield. The pharaohs and those that protect the pharaohs, right? The Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. Ra-Ka pharaohs, Ra's shields. Yeah, it's funny. Thank you, Robert Morning Sky. Yeah, I did a great. Not very many videos he put out, but I'll tell you, the ones he did were very informative, especially the Terra Papers 2, where he went into great detail with Egyptian hieroglyphs. And unfortunately, I know a lot of people have read his works, but as far as I'm concerned, not enough. But also, it's an allegorical form, right? I don't look at anything literally anymore. It's a movie, right? So we're scripting it as we go. So there's the first term of humanity's enslavement, and obviously something went south because the gold caps aren't on the pyramids anymore. They're pretty bad disarray. Of course, you look across the Sahara and all surrounding regions. It's in the most abundant growing zone on the earth, and it's a desert. What happened? I think some shit went down, and I kind of think that Mother Gaia got a little ticked off at her creations being abused, sacrificed, mutilated. They did love their sacrifices. They still do. They call them wars now instead, though. It's where people aren't so willing to walk up and have their heart ripped out of their chest. For the glory of God, Ra, Yahweh, Jehovah, Allah, Marduk, Moloch, Baal, Lucifer. Talk about a horse of a different color, or the coat of many colors, no less, Joseph. Okay, so there's a little example of how beautiful and wonderful I see the pyramids. Yeah, there'll be people out there going, "Oh my God, they're so beautiful. Oh my God, I got to go to Egypt." And I'm so in sync with everything, that kind of shit going on. And again, these are people deluded by technology that worship an idol outside of themselves. Build a teleporter. There was a time that I would think that was pretty cool, and it wasn't that long ago. But I'll tell you right now, why would I build one when I am one? Why not just learn how to be that again, huh? I think that's better energy spent. And the more we work towards what we're working towards, the clearer that potential and possibility gets, yeah? So there you go. All right, so we got, another contact request.
Hello, Kate.
Yeah, go ahead, Eric. What do you got?
How are you?
Good. How are you, my friend?
I'm fine. Thank you for the show.
Oh,
and
pleasure.
I want to ask you if do you think at the moon there's a place in this Orion conspiracy too?
The Orion conspiracy?
Yeah, the moon.
The moon. Oh yeah. Well, again, I can get into that too. I mean, Dave Icke does a great job. For me, it's a foreign object that was brought here. It's actually billions of years older than the Earth, which is kind of funny that some people say, "Oh, it came from the Earth." No, it didn't. It's older.
Yeah, because a lot of tales said that the moon there is no moon before the Egypt.
Oh yeah, I mean I would see that as complete potential. I mean, you go back to Egypt. I mean, the Sphinx in particular is 10,500 years old. It was 5,000 plus years older than they thought. Graham Hancock done some beautiful. I mean, there's a guy that went out and about. Okay, this is a guy. He's hands-on. Mute out, Bindi, or turn your speakers down.
Yep.
There you go.
Better?
Check. Much better. Thanks, hon. So the moon to me is I'm on the same page with a few people on this that consider it to be a transmitter, and of course there's a little high pitch that you hear constantly going on, and that's that frequency. So it's a control frequency. Absolutely. I mean, it's funny. The moon is one of the first things I covered when I first started in radio. with regards to mute out Bindi if you can, please, because I can hear you typing. Hear everything. All right, who's typing? Who's typing? Mute out if you're going to type, please. Yeah, just here's the radio rules, okay? If you're not talking, mute your mic. If you are, unmute. It's a thing, and it's really easy. It's a click, click, click. That way you don't have any background noise and stuff distracting and derailing me from what we're all talking about. So getting back to the moon. Yeah, it was one of the first stories I ever covered. Not to the extent that I look at it now, but I was certainly, hollow moon and all the rest of it, and the fact that it likely is a spacecraft. It's kind of odd that it's placed exactly where it is, so that it blots out the sun completely, and it's the only orb that science knows of in this solar system that someone's mic's open again. We'll get the next go. There you go. Thanks. That does not, what do you call it? Rotate. Don't you think that's kind of weird? It's the same face all the time. Mind you, they've been screwed up a bit lately. It's moved around a bit, but yeah, they've done some really neat things with it. And I think Bindi wants to jump in here. You there? Oh, okay. No, I just heard a mic open, so I figured somebody wanted to jump in. All right, now let me just go down the list here and check. Is that sort of clear that up, Eric? Pretty simple?
Yes, for sure. Some people say it's like a firewall for us. I don't know, maybe. Some
people say it's what for us?
A firewall.
Oh, a firewall. Oh, yeah,
yes.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's all part of the transmitting of the slave program. And Steve quite aptly put, there were slaves in Atlantis as well. You see, this is what I see has been happening to humanity. Humanity gets so far in terms of technology, and Gaia kicks a little ass. So, hammering on the keyboard. All right. Who's hammering on the keyboard? I'll wait. No problem. There we go. Yeah, again, please mute if you're going to be banging on a keyboard, because it's really loud on my end. I don't know what it's like out there, but I can hear it like really, really loud. Okay. Let me see. Can't open my window here. I love Skype tonight. It's awesome. Hello, October Wine. Welcome to the room. Excellent. Glad to have you. It works just fine, and I promise you I will do everything I can with every last breath to work at what I do and bring some fun stuff to everybody. There we go. Okay, there we go. What do you open? Did you find the mute okay, Bindi? It can be a bit of a pain. Just click on the little microphone picture icon on the Skype. So as long as you're good with that, that's your on-off for wanting to come in and talk and whatnot. So, all right, I'm just going to go to the board here and see if, we got a couple of people. Oh, Pope Shifter, finally, there you are. I'm going to open up Carol and get her thoughts. And I got you open as well, Pope Shifter, so we'll let Carol go, and then you jump in. You there, Carol?
Hi there, baby. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm just tip of the world, top of the world. Kind of crazy, and loving it.
Good.
Yeah. How's your weather up there? You say it's warmer today?
A little bit. It's still got a chilly northwesterly wind. It's not typical, but then that's what happens when we actually turn an entire planet towards Cygnus, right? So
absolutely.
You got to expect a little bit of, and the sun is setting way further north now. It's in the northwest. I would say west-northwest. And that's,
I think the poles are shifting. What do you think?
Well, of course they are. See, we are the poles.
Yep.
So, and as above, so below. Yeah, the pole shift of the planet is the same as the pole shift of us, as the universe. It's all fractal. and it ripples. That's why they say when a butterfly flaps its wings, the ripples are felt through the universe.
Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that a beautiful thought?
Well, it's true. That's why.
Yeah. I can remember getting butterfly kisses when I was a little girl. My mama and daddy used to give me butterfly kisses.
I used to do it with my girls as well, and I remember reading that book for the first few times, and I can never finish it without crying.
What book is that, honey?
Butterfly Kisses.
Oh, really? I didn't know there was a book.
Yep. I forget the name of the author. Oh yeah, it's powerful. It's a beautiful story.
Well, I'm really happy you shared that.
Yeah.
Because I never knew that. I'll tell you what, I've been so doggone sleepy. I missed your whole call yesterday. I think I got longer sleep yesterday. I think I went to sleep at about 2:30 in the afternoon, didn't wake up till about 8:30 that evening.
Wow.
And I felt naked. I felt like I haven't missed a call with you since I was introduced to you by, is it Tracy? Tracy?
Yep. I haven't heard from Tracy either. I don't know what's up with her. I texted her a couple of times, haven't heard back, so. No,
well, I know she was getting ready to open up a restaurant, wasn't she?
Maybe, I'm not sure. Like I said, she normally would tag me, every few days or so. I haven't heard anything from her.
By the way, there's a beautiful man that lives just a short distance from you, maybe an hour, maybe 50 miles away, and he's hoping that you will come down and have lunch with him or something like that. And
sure.
his name is Guy, and he is the nicest fellow.
Did you give him my phone number?
I told him to Skype you.
Oh yeah, or give him my cell.
He has your number, but he knows you don't like to receive phone calls. So I told him, I said, well, do you Skype? And he said yes. And I said, well, Skype him then. Skype him.
Well, again, if you just mention to him, give me a shout on the cell. I mean, I do have 300 minutes every month. It's just I don't like chewing them up.
Well, that's right. And if he can Skype you, well, then he will.
I'm saying that's a lot of minutes. I don't use my phone that much. I mean, it's a 5-10 minute phone call, right? So I can have at least 30 of those every month, and that's one every day, and I don't. I had a call today. I called it back, and I guess someone had used this individual's phone. They didn't know. I'm sure they were a little shocked. Huh? Is this Gaia? Huh? Okay, radio host? Oh, yeah, someone must have used my phone to call you. I said, okay, well, just call them back. I was on the air when they called, so.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, just have Guy give me a call on the cell phone. That'd be a lot easier. You
sure have a fabulous phone family, honey, radio call family, and I'm so glad to be part of it. I love you so dearly. And,
isn't that great?
Yes, it is.
Look at all these angels showing up in blazing glory.
Well, they're just going to keep coming, baby, so just anticipate it, and I love you, and I'm going to mute out and enjoy the rest of your beautiful call. Thank you so much.
I'll leave your mic open. You're not echoing, so if you want to jump in, unmute and jump in when you feel like it, okay?
Love you. I probably won't, though, but I sure do love you. Thanks.
Love you too, kiddo. More than welcome, and thank you. Pope
Bye-bye.
Shifter.
Hey.
Hey, how are you? Nice to hear from you finally.
Good. I'm just relaxing, listening to the show, and I figured I would say something here and there, but listen most of the time. Sorry, I just elbowed Helen. Yeah, so I don't know.
Well,
I just figured I'd be able to pop in,
Oh, everyone's welcome, you know that.
Cool.
Yeah, even the shows last night, weren't they fun? Oh, my. Yeah. That was pretty funny. I mean, these guys just don't get it, right? Oh, please, call in. Let me know I'm winning. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's all it is to me.
I listened to last night's today.
Oh, yeah, that was an intense one. The last couple of days have been pretty weird.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of purging of energies, and again, these are the creations of others that are manifest, and that's why I say I'm just a mirror. But this dragon's done. This dragon is done. Now it's made the conscious aware decision that it's kind of neat because I had a few epiphanies last night. One of them being, by the way, I haven't had a chance to really sort through it, but it hit me like a thunderbolt last night. I was down by the river having a walk. Yes, Steve, I took my shoes off. Of course I did. Anyway, and I got to tell you, it was really, really bizarre, but to mirror free will choice. And I was trying to, think about it and sort it. It wasn't coming in clear, but it's like a Polaroid picture. I talked about this today. It's another great analogy to use. you remember the old Polaroid land cameras? You take a picture and the picture would pop out and you could, stand and watch it as it developed. Okay, that's what the epiphanies are like to me. It's like this big snap, and then I see parts of the picture, and then it gets clearer and clearer, and it's like, oh, there it is. So that's what I'm waiting for. I'm just waiting for this photograph to develop. But, it works. What was the other one too? Oh, anyway, just a lot of purging energy right now, and these are the shadows that Tobias so aptly called out in his video that we all have, and it's up to us to actually confront those shadows. So how's Helen doing now that you elbowed her?
She's good. She's here. She's listening on headphones.
Oh, right on. Hey, Helen,
Hello.
how are you?
Hi.
Welcome to the show, for crying out loud. About time you showed up.
Well, we've been listening for a really long time.
I know. I'm talking, at the table and pass the salt, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to have you. And we did have another one call in, too. Area code 440, and the phone, I guess, dropped out, whatever, so I'm just waiting to see if they're calling back. But, so what's happening where you guys are?
I don't know.
Good answer.
Yeah, I was just bike riding. It's really nice outside tonight. So.
Right on. Whereabouts are you guys?
Oh, we live in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, nice. Brooklyn, former home of the Dodgers. Do you remember the old cartoons with the Brooklyn Dodgers?
No.
I love those. Oh, Bugs Bunny?
Actually, I was raised without a TV, so I have a lot of holes in my cultural references, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I'm glad that you do, because that means you got a cleaner canvas than most of us. Lucky you.
Yeah, I think I binged a little when I moved out of the house, but I'm trying to get it back to the clean slate.
Yeah, I know. Well, bike riding is certainly a good way to do that. If you really want to watch the best TV of all, sit down, shut up, close your brain off, and watch.
Yeah, totally.
That's some funky shit going on. It's beautiful.
It's really hard for most people to do, also.
Yeah, one of the things I wait for when I'm meditating, and for those that meditate, I'm not sure what happens with most people, but with me, I know when I'm starting to enter the zone, because what I get are these beautiful waves of color that just pulse across. And that's when I know that things are settling down, and of course that distracts me to watch. And the left brain shuts down rather quickly right after that. And and then that's just straight download though. It's not every time I get the little bolts of lightning and the electrical shock, but it's not every time I need to, because I had many of those and they're really cool. Have you ever experienced that, by the way?
Yeah, a little bit. I actually wanted to ask you if you've read any of Rudolf Steiner's books about meditation, because, or maybe, I don't know, there's other listeners who would be interested in it, because he provides a lot of kind of really basic things to focus on, when you're starting, or, if you're just starting out and you're not really able to concentrate or interested or even enjoying it, kind of forcing yourself. There's different sort of tips. Yeah.
I was going to say, Rudolf Steiner, you said?
Yeah.
Not familiar. Name sounds vaguely familiar, but
I think Santos has mentioned him a bunch, because he's the one who founded the Steiner or Waldorf schools. That's sort of an alternative education. I think it would be interesting for you to read, because everything is very in line. He comes out of the Theosophical Society in Germany.
Okay.
Everything is very in line with a lot of things that I hear you talking about on your show. But he has different ideas about what Christ means, I guess, than the astrotheological definition, I suppose. But it's still very interesting. So. Oh,
absolutely. Actually, what we were just sharing there, Helen, I don't do a lot of reading like that at all. And what this does for me when you share this, it's like, okay, good, I am picking up the things that I need to, and it just verifies downloads for me. That if someone else has already written about it and I haven't read it and I got it, for me that's very powerful affirmation to the meditative. And meditating, yes, you're absolutely right. If you're trying to force yourself into it, and me being mercurial Gemini, like shut it down is very difficult. I literally have to tell myself, and it's not so much forcing, but it's just reminding myself, okay, you got to shut down for a little while now, and then I have to agree with myself. That's the twins, right? And then I go and zone out. But for anyone that's going to try and sit down and meditate and force themselves into it, I mean, I've got a few friends, one in particular that spent countless hours meditating and has gotten, from talking with this individual, has gotten nothing out of it. But then again, just because you're sitting there with your eyes closed doesn't mean shit. What is your purpose? What are you actually trying to accomplish? And that's a problem with a lot of places you can go to. People have their own ideas what meditation is and what it's for, and the whole purpose of it can get skewed by someone else's opinion. With me, it's just about being with me.
Exactly. If you're skewing it to someone else's opinion, as you just stated, you're basically doing the same thing on a micro scale of what organized religion is doing, telling you how to find yourself and believe in others, and your intuition basically can get lost that way, I think.
Oh, we're gonna be best of friends, huh? I can tell you that right now. That's exactly it. Again, that's what I like to call the Savior program. And when you're looking outside of yourself, there's some of the best advice I've ever heard on it, very neutral in terms of meditating, to show the simplicity of it. Bill Donahue, very simple technique. And what I added to the equation of what he was saying, because it resonated so deeply with me, was that when you hold your breath, you stop thinking. And for me, it throws the reptilian and the left brain into conniptions, because it's all physical geared, right? It's all body, oh, survival, right? It's of course the adrenal glands, save the body, for crying out loud, right? If you knew what you were, you wouldn't be so worried about it. And that's what we're trying to work on here with people.
Hey, I stole the mic back real quick. I just wanted to say I do the same thing as you. I fall asleep watching Bill Donahue, and also with music, like I've never sat and meditated purposefully. I'd usually just end up missing time working on music, and then I figure that's like meditating. Basically, it's the same thing. So
the purest form, because you're actually, not only are you meditating, being still. Like, for example, playing guitar. I remember when I first started learning, same with keyboard. Anything that I've ever picked up to learn, it's just everything just kind of goes whoop, focuses right in on it, and there's no thought except what you're doing. And of course, what are you doing? You're completely opening the creative right. So it's for me, learning to play an instrument. It could be anything. It doesn't matter. Whatever floats your boat sinks your anchor, right? But for me, that explains to me why I was able to get what I did for as long as I did, and I wasn't even aware I was doing it.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it. It's like, whoa, I got like meditation skills, and I didn't even know it. But it was just because of that. Yeah,
when I read the Kybalion for the first time, I felt like I was somehow reading my own thoughts in some weird way. It was strange.
Then you were reading it correctly.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like a feedback or something, and I went through it really fast. But then I have trouble reciting it and things like that and trying to explain it, but when I'm reading it, it feels like it's coming from my own head or something.
Yeah, that's why I like using analogies, little pictures that can, explain the bigger pictures very simply.
Yeah.
And we have Ninja jumping in with us. What's on your mind, Ninja?
Yeah, hi Kate, hi everyone.
Hey.
Yeah, the meditation thing, it was funny because I was only speaking with Amelia about this last night, and she's very much in the same vein that for me personally, speaking for myself, I mean, I was exposed to a lot of information in the 1980s when I started to explore, and we shared books around friends, try this and this and that and the other and all kinds of stuff, and I couldn't seem to do any of the things that were being advised to do, and I always thought there was something broken. And but what I've recently realised as I've looked back is I find my information comes to me when it comes to me, and it could be while I'm vacuum cleaning, it could be while I'm putting on my makeup or whatever it is, but I never sit in meditation.
for me, when I speak of meditation, that's generally when I take my. I love saying this. Some nights I sleep with Santo. Some nights I sleep with Bill. You know, put the headphones on, close my eyes, and for me, that is as crazy as it sounds. That's distracting enough for me just to go deep. And while I'm doing that, I'm also listening to, both. I love Bill and Santa. Both their voices are very soothing and very easy to get into that space. Plus, what they're sharing is information that is given straight from the heart. So it's a heart-frequency resonance to begin with. So I think that's what kind of locks me into that really neat headspace. And or when I go for walks, typically that, and you don't need to be. Sitting in the yoga. See, there's no rules to meditate.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I never do that. I mean, whatever comes. I mean, if you're open, and then you will receive. And everybody is different. And I only really want to say this because a lot of people do find, like I used to feel, that I'm broken. It doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Because we must find our own way. Yeah. And what works for one doesn't work for another. And all these books that have been written on do it this way and do it that way, you might as well put them in the bin. Because if you can't find your own way, you can read other people's all day long. It's not going to help you. That's my opinion anyway.
Yeah, well, you got to make it yours. And you're going to find the one thing that gets you into that peaceful, centered place, right? And it could be anything. It could be, things that you love to do. What are the things that really... you love to think about? These are the creative imaginings that you're not thinking thoughts. What you're doing is when you start. Well, look at a kid daydreaming out the window. You got to be that kid. When a child is daydreaming, they're meditating. They're creating. See, when I speak of chatter. The typical chatter I'm speaking of is stuff that we get day to day. Time I got to be at work tomorrow. It's so and so's doing this. I've got to be here at such and such and blah blah. All manner of nonsense distraction. That's the thought that is. But when you don't confuse that with daydreaming, don't confuse that with sitting down and imagining what universe you want. That for me is meditation because you're actually in your create zone already.
I agree on that, definitely. The daydreaming, the occasional glance out the window. I mean, I used to work in an office in the City of London, for years and years, and you've got total distraction all around you, never mind the electronic frequencies. But would often just, for a moment, stare out the window and think of nothing. And these are the times, but perhaps if people are not aware that those are the times, they're not perhaps receiving everything coming in. But I don't know. I mean, it's such an individual journey. And the advice that's offered is okay, but take it as only advice. There's no rules. There are never any rules in these things.
Nope. Yeah, go ahead.
For sure.
Yeah, go ahead, Eric.
I always meditate when I paint because I'm a painter. So I always, when I create a new painting or stuff like that, drawing, I think I was meditating.
Oh, absolutely. You're in a create cycle. It's like I say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if you're a dancer, dance. That's your meditation zone. The things those are the things that float your boat and sink your anchor. The things that you love to do. See, here's the thing. If you love to do something, how much force is involved? And that's what we got to do. We got to lose this whole forcing ourselves thing. Like Helen, I'm sure out bike riding, your mind was everywhere. With me. That's the joy of song catching. Of course, my mind's everywhere because these crazy little, sentences and musical lines come into my head like nothing, and literally they fall out of my face because there's no effort. I can't sit down. I could, I guess, but that's very artificial. That's technological for me. I can't sit down and, I'm going to write a hit song using this formula. I've worked with these people.
Yeah, that's why writing sessions are like 15 hours long, because people come in, they spend most of the time hanging out, and then eventually they might get an idea.
Yeah, exactly. I used to do songwriting workshops in schools. I called it the Songcatcher Series, where I'd go in grade anywhere. I did some teaching through the Ontario Conservatory as well. Me, a completely untrained musician. Weird, eh? But anyway, working in schools, I set up what I call the Songcatcher series, and I worked with typically grades 6, 7, and 8. Kids that were already well advanced in the writing and creative and whatnot. And I'd go in, spend 3 one-hour sessions, typically Monday, Wednesday, Friday, never all on the same day. And what I do is I go through explain to them the process of what I go through with songs, and what I would start with the kids. I tell them a little bit about, the difference between a minor chord and a major. Minor being the more sullen, sad chords, and the major chords are the happy ones, right? And I just give them examples of, major chords together and then minor chords, and you can hear the difference, right? One's more somber, the other one's like click your heels, get going. And so I'd go through these kind of things, and words and what kind of words that would set moods, right? Because the music, if you're writing a sad song, you don't want to be writing it all in major chords. And naturally, when I'm writing, I don't even think of this stuff. So I'm trying to convey it so that they can grasp this. And first day out, I would go through this, and in the last 15, 20 minutes, I out of the blue, I'd say, okay, first word that comes to your mind, clap my hand. And I always clap my hands like for that stop moment. And I'd point at somebody, first word, and they would say something. Be brick, okay, and then I go, you, and then they'd say something like yellow. And what would happen after about 10 kids is you'd see the song being caught. And I'd write the words on the blackboard. And it was always neat to watch the eyes and go, oh. You just see them, they could see this idea coming together. And then I would take a handful of the words and underline this, okay, and then I just write out a line. So there's the first line of our song, and that's where I leave the first session. Let them think about it. And then I come back for the next one, and then we work the idea through. And typically, the second one, I'd have the song finished. We'd have the music or very close to finished. Have the music formatted, and then the third session would be finishing it off and maybe dressing it up, say with a bridge or a 5-chord lift or something, just to make it into something even bigger than what they were expecting. And I'll tell you, "Rain On" is one of those examples. Right? You guys you've heard me play "Rain On," yeah?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of those examples. So
that sounds like fun.
Oh, it was great. It was a perfect interactive. At the end of it, all of us were the co-creators of that song. That's why I cannot and I will not claim any. That is an allegorical example of what I'm talking about. What every one of my songs is, whether I'm sitting with a classroom of 30 kids or whether I'm sitting, on a stool with a table in front of me all by myself. It doesn't matter, because everything that I write is a co-creation of experiences with people and life in general. So whether the audience is there or participating is irrelevant, because you're always there and participating. I am the co-creation. That's why I say, how do you like me now? I'm yours. You see, more and more every day we do this. You're watching your own creation, me, manifest. Are you getting it?
Sure.
Isn't it cool? I think it's a neat thing. I think it's really cool that we get to actually watch this in real time, and we all get to partake of it. And this is just my way of showing myself and everyone that we're co-creators, and this is how we co-create. Because every episode that we do, there are changes that happen in me, and I know there are changes that happen in everyone that is tuned in.
Well, it definitely makes me feel better after getting off the subway, the cattle cars in New York City.
No doubt.
That's why I prefer to bike for sure, because avoiding that is just priceless, really.
No doubt.
Yeah, it's sad, man. Sometimes I've gotten really, not lasting depression, but for like an hour or so after being on the subway. Like at certain times, everybody completely looks like zombies, maybe a few people here and there. And it's like a cartoon, and it's pretty depressing.
Well, I totally get that, and look what the system has done to us. It has turned us into almost meaningless robots, spending our days producing something for somebody else to make all the money.
Yeah, it's pretty blatant in cities.
No, it's pathetic. But here, there two parts of that dance, right?
No, exactly. I mean, there's a whole other world out there of people that are... I mean, I'm sure even the most zombified person has to be thinking something here and there. I have to hope that anyway.
Oh, I think so, too. And on that happy note, I'm actually going to toss it to you now. Just bring the vibe up, bro. We got 440 back, so here, I'll tell you what. Let's bring 440 in first before I go to a song. Hello, your mic's open. 440, just saw you. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. This is Billy from Cleveland.
Yep.
So,
how's Billy?
I'm great. I worked on Captain America yesterday for like 14 hours. So I talked to like 200 people. I plugged all the esoteric, and I don't know, met a ton of people from all over.
Oh, you're a truth or troublemaker.
But yeah, I had to stir things up. I think I started working as a grip. They only had craft services available. So I was in the truck making food for everybody. So all the actors and actresses walked in, and we delivered food to all the sets. So I think it pissed a lot of people off, but pretty much everybody introduced themselves, and I got in their head. So. Either made them laugh or cry or, pissed off or like, who's Gaia Gaia, or, what's Resistance 2010 or Jordan Maxwell or coffee or, I don't know.
Would you like Jordan Maxwell or a coffee with that bagel?
Exactly.
What? Huh? Oh, man, you're right.
Yeah. I pretty much syncretism is in full swing, and the Earth's, energy is on the rise.
Oh, yeah.
I can feel it.
I'm feeling it everywhere. All right, you got a couple of sacs here? I'm going to throw a tune on.
Oh, yeah, throw them on. I got to go in a minute or two. So, yeah, just thank you guys, and thanks for keeping it light at the same time.
Oh, yeah, well, we've had enough of the heavy shit for the last 2 days. Definitely not places I like to visit, but, again, we need the contrast. You can't see the good without the bad, and vice versa. So it's all good at that point. So, all right, so here we go. I'm going to play... I was asked about this one today, too. Lisa, you're spoiled tonight. Here, this one's for you. All right, Like an Angel. We'll be right back.
Somewhere like a dream, your world washed over me and took me far away, so very far away. Made sense of all things wrong, gave hope where all was gone. What do I need to say, really need to say? Your eyes are all the words I need, wanting nothing in return. Your love is unconditionally. I have so much to learn. When I hold you in my arms, nothing seems to matter. I'll never let you get so far. Being there is what you do. When my world caved in around me, nothing through the smoke to see. There you were, still standing like an angel, holding on to me. Somehow you pulled me through, turned faith back into truth completely, so completely. held strong when others ran, gave my heart a place to stand, and you saved me, more than saved me. Your eyes are all the words I need, wanting nothing in return. Your love is unconditionally. I have so much to learn. And when I hold you in my arms, nothing seems to matter. I'll never let you get so far. Being there is what you do. And when my world caved in around me, nothing through the smoke to see. There you were, still standing like an angel, holding on to me. When I hold you in my arms, nothing seems to matter. I'll never let you get so far. Being there is what you do. When my world caved in around me, nothing through the smoke to see. There you were, still standing like an angel, holding on to me.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now, it's our turn.
And we're back. There you go. So just a little mood changer. See how important you are? That's the part I love. And I'm smug about it. You guys rock. Just trying to show ya. But, yeah, getting back to the meditation aspect. Yeah, it's as simple as here's the magic of meditation. You know, some people think it takes hours and you have to sit for an hour or 30 minutes or whatever. It takes as long as it takes. Okay? Because here's the thing, once the thought's empty, once the thought's clear, and you are in that beautiful zone, in the twinkling of an eye, like a lightning bolt. The code book says it, tells you exactly what you're needing to look for. And you'll know when it hits you. Without question, you'll know when it hits you. And a lot of times people experience things that they're not even aware they're experiencing. So if there's anyone that is unaware of anything like that, it's because you've been doing it anyway. You know, so. But simple process. Bill, I love this one because it does. It sends the reptilian brainstem and the left brain into conniptions, going into body rescue. Hey, cat's away, the mice will play. And you hold your breath, clear your thoughts, and the bolt can hit you just like that. Best place to be, I always recommend it, because typically bathrooms, especially in the lower parts of the house, don't have windows in them. You do your best thinking when you're there. So
Anton LaVey wrote a whole essay about the bathroom as a ritual chamber.
Well, yeah. Well, it depends on the rituals. I know some of Anton's rituals.
I just like his writing because it's like sarcastic, and I think he's funny.
Oh, he was hilarious.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Anton wrote the Satanic Bible, amongst other things. So, quite an individual, and someone that went avant-garde. You know, just he checked out the game in his perspective, right? And that's why, you know, people say, "Oh my God, the Satanic Bible! Yes, I have a copy of it. You should actually spend some time reading these things and get a different perspective." And that's the only reason I
just
do
like
that.
you embody the mirror, he was like trying to embody the devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Oh yeah, that's exactly it. You know, but what people like that do, people say, "Oh, you know, Anton's evil," and says, well, that might be from your perspective, absolutely, but the good it gives is the contrast. And can you see it? Can you confront it? Are you strong enough This is the thing I laugh at with, religious people, especially fixated on one religion or another. And you tell them, well, have you ever talk to a Christian, have you ever read the Quran? Oh, it's like, you might as well have spat in their face, right? And I said, okay, well, you're really secure in your religion, right? You have it down cold and you're certain of your religion, yeah? Yeah? Okay, well, then read it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What do you think about Aleister Crowley?
Well, again, Aleister, from the stuff I have looked at, these are parts of the psyche that get opened up, and I'll never say that someone is right or someone is wrong. I will simply say they've got a perspective, and there's going to be some gems in there that
he's obviously really smart. I mean,
oh yeah, and I'm going to look at the work based on the work, not some ideological belief or programming, cultural programming. I'm going to look at it as an observer. What is this?
Yeah, mirror.
Yeah, I'm going to look at it just to see what it is. I mean, when you walk into a car dealership, do you buy every car, or do you shop around a little bit until you find something that works for you? And that's when you make it yours, And that's it with me. I mean, I'm not a specific follower of anyone or anything. I'm just on my path, and I'm looking at everyone and everything. That's my yellow brick road. I'm looking for my allegories. I'm looking for my breadcrumbs. You have yours. I have mine. I share mine on the air, and this is why I love this, because you guys get to come into the table and share yours too. It's the things that people say to me that trigger me. Go ahead.
No, for sure. Some things that Aleister write in his book, I think is very positive too.
Oh yeah, I mean, again, it depends on the perspective of the individual. I mean, you could take a heavy-duty Pentecostal or Baptist born-again Christian rolling in the aisles type and just say Aleister Crowley, and they've got their fingers up in a cross formation and they're all backing off with a, it's like, what's the perspective?
Which he probably would have loved.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Did I get myself all set up here to bring my tea out? Yeah, I did. I'm such a silly bitch. Anyway, I just put the kettle on to make some tea, so I just warm up a little bit. It's chilling down here pretty good. But anyway, yeah, again, it's when you go out shopping, do you buy everything you see? No. You just shop. That's what it's about, isn't it? Just kind of having a look around. Do you buy every outfit you see, or do you try a couple on? Do you see how they work? And again, these are all this is a fractal I'm talking about. This is just a living, real-time physical experience to display and show the ethereal spiritual side. That's it. Just because somebody says something doesn't make it true. And I've said that many times about me. Just because I'm saying something don't make it true. All I'm doing is throwing ideas out. I've had some great ideas. I had some real doozies of, that didn't work, but that's okay. Live and learn, and that's one of the things I do love about, not getting it right every time, is because every time I've gotten something, quote, wrong, I learned something. I got the contrast, and I never took it personally. I'm thinking, okay, well, I'll do that better next time. And now I have more information to work with, and that's it. That for me, that's how to neutralize the ego. And when you start, see, look what school does to us, for crying out loud. Like, if you get little X's on your page, your whole persona changes, right? You see kids that get their tests back and they're 6 or 5 out of 10, and what does that do to the kid? It's a perfect destruct.
The worst.
Oh,
the worst.
There's your caste system.
I quit. I left. I only made it to beginning of 10th grade, and I left.
Good.
Done.
Smart boy.
Yeah. And before that, I slept through the whole day, or got kicked out of class, or whatever.
Yeah. And what do you love to do?
Make art and hang out, and I don't know, think about stuff, not think about stuff, whatever. Mostly just art stuff, guitar, music, whatever, drawing.
So you're in the float zone. That's what I love to be in.
Yeah, it's not. It's society doesn't make it very easy for those people, but yeah, it's an interesting thing.
Well, that's it. I mean, the whole system is designed to keep everybody in a mechanical, robotic state of mind.
Well, yeah, back to what you were talking about with the schools and the rat race of it all, and I don't know, it's crazy.
Yeah, completely destroys our ability to be creative because we're thrust and held in the left brain from the first day we walk into school. Yeah, okay, kindergarten's a little creative. You get to color on occasion and play with toys and hang out with your friends, and that's the trap. Oh, school's fun. I tell you, if they didn't have kindergarten, there'd be a whole lot less kids going to school. They're thinking, this sucks. You put a kid straight into school to start learning reading and writing, all the rest of it, you know how long they'll last. Not very.
Yeah. I hate to be constantly talking about Steiner, but I went to these schools that he invented the curriculum for, and there's no grades. You get written reports by your teacher, and you know how those bumper stickers the kids, the parents get from the school that says my child's an honor student. We have them everywhere. I don't know, just anyway, so the school I went to, it said all students are honored at the Waldorf school, and that's the philosophy. But yeah, I don't know. Sorry.
I'm just gonna back you up. That's the bumper sticker. My son or my daughter or my child is an honor student. You know what that tells me? That says, okay, I'm a really dumbass parent living vicariously through my child because I had no way or no means of ever achieving anything worthwhile in my life, but my kid's going to do it for me. Thank you very much. Sounds almost like Yahweh, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. You already know. I mean, it's actually really funny that Brian and I we're kind of a contrast too, because I have a master's degree from an Ivy League school, and I managed to turn out okay, I suppose. I'm an architect, so you kind of need these. Well, maybe you don't need the diplomas, but at the time I felt like I did. But at the same time, I think you can, or I'm speaking generally, but I think probably there are many people who could find their way through these institutions, but you do have to navigate, I'm lucky, though. He's yelling at me that I got lucky.
I hear him.
Okay, good. But I think, the fact that you have to kind of find your own wormhole through it does certainly indicate an issue. And if you're lazy or don't feel like making any kind of effort, I'm sorry to use the second person, but if one feels lazy, they could sort of navigate or never navigate through anything, and just kind of do it.
Exactly. These episodes that we do, they're all third party. Because when I speak of you, I'm also speaking of me. So.
Oh yeah, sorry, I always forget that. That's so wonderful. Thanks.
No, it's again. There's no need to be politically correct in saying you, because I'm including me in it. So that's the pot calling the pan black ass. Okay. Yeah. Every single time. That's called self-accountability, as one is observing and placing shared accountability upon the other perspectives of self. That's all that is. And it's look at go to the video Pink Floyd The Wall. When we don't need no education, right?
Yeah.
And in the video, you've got these kids, basically robotic automatons, getting processed through the system, coming out the other side faceless, and then just falling off a cliff. And that's exactly what the school systems do at all levels.
Into a meat grinder.
into the meat grinder, yeah. That look at the allegory there. I mean, that is a complete overview of the system society, in the image of their god, and they worship. The god they worship, money, right? The one eye, the eye above the pyramid, right?
Yep.
Looks an awful. Yeah, exactly. It looks an awful lot like that entity in Lord of the Rings, doesn't it? That
Sauron.
Sauron, yeah. Wow.
I think these artists are trying to tell people something.
Well, that's the thing. That's the joy of the all-knowing is, when you look at the album cover of Stairway to Heaven, what's that, 72, 73 or whatever it was that came out, and the actual cover of the album is the Orion Nebula. and all the nebula cloud formations around it. Do you think the artist was aware they were doing that, or do you think maybe there was a bigger hand at play there? Right? And this is what I'm trying to share with people in terms of the allegory and to see through the surreality of Oz here. Everything is perfect. Can you see it? And that's it. There is no duality here. The only duality there is that which we perceive to be. So when we look out, everything in this game is applicable to you as the individual, as the all. And it's very difficult to try to convey this concept, but the universe moves in accordance with every perspective. Look at the mastery of that. That is the all-knowing. It's perfect. It has to be. You know, why do we bump into certain people in our lives? It's almost like we were meant to meet, wasn't it? Of course you were. That's how the universe works. It works in perfection. There is a grand plan. Can you see it? And once you see it, can you be cause over it? And start to weave the fabric. What we're dealing with here is a really shitty weaver. You know, as Stephen was saying there, the Nag Hammadi has Yahweh portrayed properly as a psychopath. You know, that's this entity, this archonic energy here, that is the jealous God that is spoken of in the commandments, right? It's all about me, me, me. I want to have my creation. You know, think of the 6-7-year-old bully that likes walking around stealing, you know, kids' lunches and beating other kids up, until finally all the kids say, we've had enough, and they surround the bully, and the bully runs off whimpering. That's what we're dealing with here. And the bully is already whimpering and backing away and ready to run. And that's the pressure you're feeling right now. That's the purge. It's getting rid of this darkness. And I don't say darkness in the literal sense. I'm using it in a metaphorical sense. Because only in the darkest void within you can your light shine the brightest. And the only way you can allegorically and metaphorically achieve that in the physical is to seek out the darkest things to shine the brightest, to confront the things that you're afraid of the most, to show your true badge of courage. The only thing to overcome here is fear. You're an infinite God, for crying out loud. What have you got to be afraid of? And who has convinced you otherwise? What has convinced you otherwise? Wake up, William, wake up. But I don't want to, but you have to. And he did, and we will, and we are. So that's, for me, it's that simple. And I will continue on for as long as I have to, getting these messages across, where you guys can come in and get your messages across. It helps me, it helps everybody. This is where you have your voice. This is your table. You know, it's not like we're sitting at the dinner table and, you know, it's passed the microphone around. You know, it'd be a lot easier if we could all jump in, but that's the problem with Skype. It works like a radio, like a two-way radio. But the thing is, we're at the table. So when I say, Helen, can you pass the salt, please? And Helen says her bit. You know, and Ninja, or who else we got in here? We got Eric and Bindi, yes. And I forgot your name, Pope Shifter. Helen stole your show, man.
We're also passing the microphone back and forth, which is funny what you just said. So
there you go. And I didn't catch your customary calling when you came in.
I'm Brian.
Brian.
Yeah.
Brian and Helen. Excellent. Again, you can use your name freely because we know it was a deception. So there you go.
Yeah. Yep.
Feels better.
That whole thing's insane. Yeah, no, it does. I sort of always hadn't cared anyway. I mean, I find the whole thing really interesting and fascinating, but I just do whatever I do, you know. I mean, what else am I going to do?
Well, here
I try not to worry about it.
Here's a duality. You cannot have your name until you let it go.
Yeah.
See what I mean about contrast?
Sure, yeah. I've always been obsessed with balance and contrast and all that stuff, and then later learned I was a Libra.
Oh,
so it made a lot of sense. But I remember back before I knew anything about that, like growing up, always obsessed with that. So I don't know.
Well, what's the balanced Libra? Who are you hanging out with?
A Leo.
Oh my God, the will of the lion. Talk about good team.
Yeah, I'm Libra too.
There you go. There you go. And we got, I know Ninja's Capricorn. What are you, Bindi?
Scorpio.
Oh, bloody hell.
It's my rising, though.
I know. Actually, now that you mention it, I remember now. Oh, no. It's I talked to Eric here. I love picking on Scorpios. Well, of course, Sue. I mean, I was hanging with her, and then of course we were friends for years before that. So I got really, really well trained in the Scorpio, the stinger in, the stinger out, right? And until and you know this for a fact, Bindi, you found your center. I know that. Talking to another Scorpio friend today, Julie. There's another one that's found her center. And I got to tell you, and I say this all the time. The signs I love to hate the most are the ones I love to love the most when they find their center. The Taurians, Sagittarians, Scorpions. They're the ones that typically drive me batty. And when
fixed signs.
I'm mutable, right? So it's like, fucking move, will ya? Like, come on, dance or something. No, I'm gonna stay here. I'm fixed water. I'm fixed fire. I'm fixed this, and and isn't it funny though that Aries fixed fire, right? Or cardinal fire, right? Isn't it? Yeah, cardinal fire.
Cardinal, yeah.
Yeah, and then fixed earth for Taurus and mutable air for Gemini. Okay, but yeah, fixed water for Scorpio. That's the intense emotional, and when you grab a hold of it, and I've seen this manifest in every Scorpio I know. It's when you find that center and see that reflective water pool of emotion as a mirror. Now you got some shit to deal with.
That's when the eagle comes flying in.
You got it.
Yeah.
And that's when a Scorpion finds finally its center, and it shines brightly. Because remember, the Scorpio, Sagittarian, and Libra are all in the double negative, right? The double dark. So you guys get the opportunity, more than any other part of the zodiac, to shine the brightest or remain the darkest. It's always a contrast. Now, of course, I love using me as the contrast in the double positive, right? It's very hard for those in the light to find their dark in which they can shine. So that's why I've, it's funny because throughout my life, I've always had those of the, below the horizon. You got Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarian, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, right there. I've always had a lot of those particular signs around me. I know why now. It gave me the opportunity to find my own darkness, and that's, of course, for me, that is the answer. And there's the mirror again with the Scorpio, or the double negatives, Libra, Scorpio, Sag, right? I get an opportunity to shine the brightest with them, right? So you're just a mirror for me. That's it. But we got 3 minutes left here before we roll off. So let me give a heads up to everybody. If you want to continue in for the rollover into the recording, call in at area code 661-467-2401. And of course, Skype in, refresh the page, hit the Skype button. It'll redirect and get you on the board. If you want to chat, just hit 1 on the dial pad. A great big shout out and thank you to criticalmassradio.co.uk. Paul, Lisa, and the crew, thank you guys so much for this platform every night. And of course, I love hanging out on the main page every Tuesday afternoon, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard here, and of course 6 to 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Always a treat to know that I'm talking directly to home turf. I'm from the UK, so it's kind of it's always a home gathering every Tuesday afternoon. Of course now too, right? But you guys know what I mean. I'm allowed my little things here and there. But there you go. But yeah, getting back to the signs though, Bindi, you're Scorpio. You know your power, and I'm sure you can.
I'm getting there.
Well, I'm sure you can give a few examples of that stinger just going a little wild on everything outside of you and inside of you.
Oh yes.
But what a gift.
Well, I'm still getting there. Every now and then the eagle flies, but I fall smack on my face. Enough to still keep growing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
most of it's just when you're yelling at yourself.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, I've been around Scorpios a lot, and well, Sue in particular. So I've watched this manifest. Stinger out, stinger in, stinger out, stinger in, stinger out, and it was a constant back and forth. And of course, being first Deacon Scorpio brought in also the Libra, so there was balance there. And all I need is about an hour to sit and chat. That's it. Be game over. And I know she'd find her center. I just, like I said, I wish I knew more. But all things for a reason. No guilt, no blame, no regret. Things are as they're supposed to be. It is perfect for a reason. And we're getting there. We're just, slow but sure, but we're getting there. A lot quicker now, though, huh?
Uh-huh. Well, just like you love a bit of a rant, I think Scorpios are good at that as well.
Oh yeah.
On the emotional part.
Oh, my God, yeah.
I feel this, I feel that. I've heard myself doing that many times.
Do you know what's funny about me? I'll tell you about the twins. I'll be in the middle of one of my Leo ascendant rants, and just before the TLB really had me by the tail swinging, right? I'd be like tearing a strip out of somebody on a job site or whatever, and as I'm going, it's like I can hear me inside going, "Okay, you said enough. That's good. Really, seriously, just shut up." Shut up! You've said enough now. And this inner dialogue is going on while I'm and I'm listening. All right, I'll shut up now.
I've got that T-shirt too, Kate.
Boy, but that for me was how to spot the TLB, right? Yeah. I already had a very defined. You need to shut up now, right? So that's me, the kind of gentler, spiritual aspect, standing back going, well, we'll just let the program run for a little bit. Wait till she shuts up, and there you are. Hi, now I know where you are, and put you in the corner, and you can suck your thumb for the rest of existence. So that's kind of where it is.
Well, I must admit that the stinger came in pretty handy when I was a kid and got beat up for about being different about everything I could think of. So I really needed to develop it then, but now I know, put it down, just look them in the eye, and they'll sit.
Yeah, but isn't it wonderful to know that you have it?
I have a choice now.
Now you can take care of business when and if you have to with complete control.
Exactly. It's like my granddad said. He said, well, if you want to control your stinger, take the child out of the driver's seat and put the adult there. He pretty much meant put the ego in the back seat and use your higher mind.
Pretty much.
Very much smart.
See, and this is exactly what I'm trying to... I'm really glad you're here, Bindi, because I love when Scorpios have found their center, because you get to be the living example of what it is I'm trying to explain to you. And this applies to every sign. I just, with my own personal experience with Scorpios, I've had a lot of very up close and personal with it. So it's very close to my heart, if you will. And when someone can convey that, exactly what I'm trying to say, there you are. I mean, we've talked a few times, but it's not like I spent 12 years of my life with you, right? So
no, but there's a basic mechanism there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, we're all 1/12 of the zodiac, of every zodiac. So
yeah, we're
got it somewhere.
Well, again with the new RotoSync wheel that Sandra's put together, outlines that very clearly. We have every zodiac within us.
Yeah.
What part of it we're pulling out, right? Every sign, you go right around that entire wheel. The I am, I have, I think, I feel, I will, I analyze, I balance, I want, I see. I'm going around them, see if I can get them all. I experience, I believe, I know, or I know, I believe. Okay?
Yep.
Those are all the things that we have to go around, but we also have to go around it in the mirror. I am not. I have not. I think not. I will not. I feel not. You know what I mean? So
migrate to the middle ground.
What's that?
Shoot to the opposites and then move to the middle ground. I have or I have not, and then move to the middle. Move to neutral.
Move to neutral.
It's like squash balls, they fly to all sides of the walls, and in the end, they bounce right to the middle.
Exactly.
All we have to do is wait for it.
Yep. And that's it. And there's no kicking, no screaming, no fighting, nothing. It's just it is just an intentful choice. That is it.
Yep.
So, I better check Skype because we're in the roll-off. So let's see if who wants to jump in with me here. I'm pretty sure Kishi will. Okay, Steve. Yeah, I gotcha. Let me get Steve in here. Okay, let me get Steve. Sorry, I'm a little slow on the uptake here, guys. I just kind of get caught up in it. And
hey, Kate. How many days back do you have to go for the Julian calendar?
I believe it's 13. 13. My feeling was it was 6. I'm gonna go back and research that.
Yeah, I was curious.
Just to verify that, because I think it was a 13, either 6 or a 13-day adjustment. But because I remember looking at that back in Ian Lungold's work that he was doing, and I remember checking that out. But that's going back quite a few years. So, but it resonated when Zoe brought up the whole civil calendar, Gregorian versus Julian. It really resonated. I think, oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to go check out my chart for that.
Yeah, well, if it's 13, who did we lose? Hopefully it's not the whole
I could just research it too. I remembered you were talking about it.
Yeah, Ninja, can you still hear me okay?
Yeah, fine.
Okay, no, I heard a drop off. I'm thinking, because we're in the recording now, I lose this call, we lose the show. Oh, that's just a heads up. If my Skype's not responding, I think we're going to get zinged here, guys. Ninja?
Yeah, I hear you, Kate.
Okay, just keep your mic there for a sec, because my Skype wasn't responding. Just so I know. I think we lost. Who did we lose? No, it looks like everyone's still on the call. Oh, yeah, everyone's still on the call. Anyway, so... Okay, yeah, I got room. Sorry, and again, guys, sorry for the slow uptake when we cross into the rollover. I do my best to get on it as quickly as possible. Let me see if there's one more here. Lots of room on the bus. Lots of room. So, what are all the signs we have in here tonight? Do a round robin.
Aries.
Yep, Aries for
Sagittarius.
Kishi, Sagittarius. Bindi, Scorpio. Brian is Libra. Helen is Leo. Eric is Libra. Did I say Ninja, Capricorn? And I am Gemini, and who else? Who did I miss? I think I got everyone in the call anyway.
No Taurus.
Who's Taurus?
No Taurus.
No. It's
Project.
Exactly. And now, and I do want to say this about Taurus. My experience with Taurians has been both amazing and really sucks. Okay?
Yeah, I've got one as a dad.
Right? So I don't want to sound like I'm beating up any one particular sign. I'm not. I'm just telling people my experience. And the toughest ones that I've had experiences with are Scorpio, Taurus, and Sagittarius.
Well, I was out in the corrals working with 23 Tauruses today.
Oh, nice. How were they? Stubborn?
Most of them were pretty cool, but you always got the asshole.
Isn't that true, though, eh? One in every herd.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, it's interesting. And of course, hopefully Friday we'll have Santo on. I'm sure he'll be rested by then. That'll be great to have him back. And there have been other.
You better ask Hiromi about that.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. In case there's something planned about going out and doing something, but I'll tag him and see what's up. Oh, Vanessa wants to jump in. Sorry, Vanessa, how are you?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, what sign are you, hon?
I'm a Taurus.
That's right.
Always an honorary one in the bunch.
I'm a Taurus.
Yeah, and you're a damn fine one. Like I said, I won't pick one side or the other, but I'll tell you, my experience with Taurians have been about 80% on the get out of my life side of things, and then the other 20%, Vanessa's one and Patty's another. When you find your fixed earth, and when you find that truth and can stand in it, there's nothing more powerful, nothing more stubborn either. They're tough to move. Santo does a great analogy or a breakdown of the sign. They're tough to move, and they're slow to move, but when they do, they're certain of their footing.
Oh, I can't wait till he's on again, and I'm going to call him
and of course, throw a mutable air into the mix, and you got problems right from the get-go. Sorry, just my nature.
But I had to come in and just tell you that I'm a Taurus. Yep.
Awesome.
So you were missing the Taurus, and I just had to show up.
Now we need a Cancer, and is that everybody or no?
I think that's everybody.
We can take the set now.
And I will say that yesterday's show and the show before were both concerning Taurians. Just a coincidence.
They were quite the experience yesterday and the day before. Boy, those shills were holy cow.
They're fun.
Well, you know what? It kind of reminded me of the movie The Exorcist when she started spitting all that nonsense out, trying to deter them from what they were doing. It just reminded me. It was just so silly.
I know. Actually, the next trick I want to see Shill come in, and I want to see if they can rotate their head around.
Yeah.
A couple times. That would be cool. You want to impress me? Oh, that's original. Because you ain't going to twist my head. I'm just going to, I might turn a little bit, look at you, laugh, smirk, and move along. But other than that, thanks for the original, actually, the two last night were terrible. The ones we had before, there was some originality in those guys. But the guys last night, I was like, please,
I know.
Call Howard Stern. He'll enjoy that. Call Alex Jones. He'll enjoy that. But, you don't want to do that because they're already doing a great job of distracting the masses, so...
It sounds like graffiti from a bathroom.
Yeah.
When they come on.
Yeah, walking wall of graffiti.
It's just like random curses and...
Yeah, for a good time call. It's like, no thanks. No thanks. Yeah. Wine and dine that? Don't think so. Not a chance. But, so we covered Orion pretty good, I think. I didn't finish the steps. Let me just quickly do that. So let's gather all the cattle into the religiocosis buildings that are actually capacitors that are generating all this praying power to pray on each other, this intent that is getting directed through the domes, David LaPointe, Primer Fields, as above, so below, and getting directed to, the center of creation of this particular galaxy called Orion Nebula, which brings all of the young stars into this trap. Time to shut the door, don't you think?
For sure.
I think so.
Can I ask you something?
Go.
Hello?
Yeah, go.
Do you think the reptilians are the big boss, or the Archons, or these guys are the same? I don't know.
We're the boss.
What's that, Stephen?
We're the boss.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care who wants to pretend to be the big boss. Sorry, you're it. I'm it.
Yeah, I was going to say, why don't we just redirect that energy somewhere?
No,
that's like I put in the Skype room a minute ago. I said I'm a force of one. I said that's my interpretation of Air Force One.
Yeah, I'm steering towards Cygnus, baby. In Cygnus and in health. Let's rock and roll. And it goes back to the Cygnus constellation. That this goes back to Newgrange, by the way, and I do like to look at certain things on the planet that were built a long time ago, especially a remnant of Atlantis called Ireland, the last little piece sticking up. And there at Newgrange, just north of that, 5 miles north and to the west slightly, there's another building. Now, Newgrange is all set up for the summer and winter solstices and equinox alignments and what have you. But when you go up this trail, 5 miles away, there's this little innocuous building that is dedicated to only one constellation, and that constellation is Cygnus. And Cygnus is the swan. Swan is the divine feminine. There's your allegory. So that's where I'm heading. That's where I'm steering my ship, my mind, and all my intent is focused on Cygnus.
Cygnus.
Yeah, might explain my Skype handle. For those that don't know the transition of my Skype...
Already done, Kate?
Oh, I know. I mean, Steve mentioned it yesterday. You know,
there's no coincidences here at all.
No, none at all. You know.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's fine. So we got with me the transition for me. It started off, and I remember the reaction I got when I first put up the ugly duckling as my Skype handle, and people, oh, Kate, what do you? No. You never read the story, and I knew I'd get that reaction. But it was a double-edged sword, right? Because I'm an allegory as well. And for me, looking in the mirror, I was always the ugly duckling, right? And what is the story of the ugly duckling? It is the one that doesn't fit in. It's the one that tries to makes friends with everybody, and is born into a family of ducks and is ridiculed and beaten and sent off, and then goes to see other friends, go in a nest with other birds, and the Disney version of it's beautiful. It's only, I think, 15 minutes, but the allegory is very, very clear for me. So I put, as my Skype panel, this is about a year ago, I put the ugly duckling. And then as I started coming into my own and starting, I had to give myself transitionals that worked for me. And they were duly noted points of my own awakening. And then a few months later, I might have been actually ugly duckling probably about a year and a half now, but about 5 or 6 months later, I changed it to Cygnus Rising. So that's the swan rising. Not quite full swan yet, and but getting there. And then not that long ago, I guess about 6 months back, I changed it to Cygnus Trumpets, and that's the swan finally coming into its own and yelling loud. And of course that was also the correlation to the seventh seal, the seventh trumpet, right? And then I changed it not that long ago to Cygnus Trumpet, the divine feminine, love conquers all. And that one was based upon you, not me. When I could see it, when I could finally see the love trumping and people coming into that zone, that's when I knew that love has conquered all. And well, it already has. So Cygnus trumps it is yours, not mine. That's the reflection.
That's beautiful. I think this one got me to your radio show as well, Kate.
There you go.
Just followed it. I was born in WA, the Black Swan, right above my cot, literally. Huh. And there's a swan there, got a nest on my roof, sunny.
Awesome. Just a coincidence.
Yeah, of course.
Look away. There's nothing behind the curtain. That's
no. It's got a built-in dark side, the white and the black one. So
there you go.
Beautiful.
So who wants to share a little story about their own awakening?
Well, I was just going to say I've always liked Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Right on.
Similar in a way, but...
Well, you've always liked consciousness, right? Because Rudolph was the ninth, yeah?
Yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff in that one.
On Dasher, on Dancer, on...
Have a good night.
Oh, are you gone, Vanessa? Oh.
Oh. No, I'm here.
We'll say goodnight for us, too. Everyone
good night.
Right.
Night, John Boy.
Night, Lawn Boy. Good night, Jim Bag.
Night. Good night.
Uh-huh.
Well, that was one of my favorite shows.
I know, it was great. Still see the ending, the picture, and good night, Mary Ellen.
Good night, Jim Bob.
Yeah. Who remembers the theme tune?
Who remembers what?
The theme tune.
Not familiar.
The tune?
Oh, the tune to it, yeah.
No. The tune.
Yeah, I got it.
Da, 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 da.
Oh, yeah, you betcha.
Yeah. Okay, everyone's going to be going to YouTube tonight. Search out.
Thanks.
Hey, I got a good one. I got a good movie for you if you want to watch one that's got Grandpa in there, Grandpa Walton.
Oh, what's that?
One of my favorite all-time movies with Will Greer. It's Robert Redford and oh shit! I just lost the name of it.
Jeremiah Johnson.
There you go. Jeremiah Johnson made his way into the mountains, betting on forgetting all the troubles that he knew.
Right
in
on.
this one, Pilgrim.
and I'll get you another.
Was that the same time as the famous Mr. Red?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Go again.
That's one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah, you never know where these shows end up, eh?
Well, at least we're all on the same page, even if we're not on the same paragraph.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. You know, that's the whole thing, though. You know, it's about handing out whatever, you know, is relevant during the course of the show, and then having these little downtime moments at the end where it's just everything coalesces and you know, it's just a flowing energy. That's why I like this. You know, and you guys just, I prefer, you know, like at this point, just to kind of sit back and let you guys do the magic.
It's just you and me and a dog named Boo traveling and living on the line.
Exactly. You know, but any burning questions? Who wants to interview me?
Kate, do you know how you were talking about how Emily kept repeating the EA?
Yeah.
Right. Well, my second son, he kept saying this Gutta, right? And now the wee granddaughter, she's coming out with the same freaking word, and I'm like, right, there's something in that. Now that you draw my attention to it as well, you know.
Ah, interesting.
Gutta.
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 Sounds like good in German to us.
I was going to say it sounds German. To me, it sounds like good in German. Yeah, Gutta.
Goethe?
Yeah.
Scandinavian?
Yeah.
No, it's German, I believe.
Yeah.
Bulgarian, anyway.
It's also a cheese. Gouda.
My life's pretty damn good right now.
Nana's cheesy.
All right, Kate, I got one for you.
Okay.
This is kind of a direction I've been going for quite a while, and you brought it up on a couple of recent occasions. So, and Tony brought it up to me last night when he was Skyping the shit out of me. You alluded to the fact of the pyramids and the golden cap, and also they were covered in a glaze, so they shone brightly, and they were energy productions, at least the ones mainly on the Giza and several around the world. And Gotepi is, another example of a different type of structure that's more harmonic rather than the electrical. But you can go back through the Nag Hammadi, you can go through many of the interpretations out of the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Veda, and I'd tell you what, if anybody's waiting for somebody to come from the sky that's going to be their brother to save them, you better put your head between your knees and kiss your ass goodbye, because they already fucked you 10,000 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
And so you're right on that. But if if anybody in this room has a doubt about that, you could probably allude to that.
Well, yeah, the Egyptians. It's made quite clear that the Egyptians were all about slavery, and ulterior motives. Now, that was one of the big dividing points with Tony and I. This was probably the biggest one, and this was where I basically said, well, if these roads are never going to meet, not as long as we're talking about it. He'll have to come do it on his own. But the duality says that something is either good or evil. Singularity says it's both, and you got to get neutral on it. And he could not even fathom the notion that the pyramids were somehow evil.
Well, I don't know if I'd call them evil exactly. Of course, it depends on what your depiction of evil.
On the intent of how they were used.
Patriarchal.
Oh, okay. Well, I put evil on the intent of the spiritual, the upper level of that part, but on the physical, that's where I put that intent with the pyramids. And whether you believe the stories of out of Samaria and everything, and the genetic engineering and the story of Noah and all that, whether you believe it or not, it shows the intent in every one of those stories, and the intent was for power, control, manipulation, and negative creation.
Exactly.
And you made another great point tonight, which I agree with, about technology. And Yeah, that's replication. And why would we want to replicate what we already are?
That's the mirror for me.
Exactly.
And those that are worshiping technology are Atlantean and destined for another round of doom to try to figure it out yet again to get back to base. And those that are moving towards the stern, the divine feminine mind, the ragtags on the Poseidon, the ones that are walking away from it to find themselves instead of losing themselves in an external god, a graven image. Anything that is, for me, that is technological is mimicking that which we can already do. And there's, again, another mirroring of the universal law of spiritual creation being mimicked by the Phi Psi Call, right? So, and for those that have never heard the Phi Psi Call breakdown, Phi, sacred geometry ratio, that's this realm, and Psi, which is a spirit trapped in this realm, and a Call is a harvest. So when you're stuck in the physical, you are the harvested. You are on the ghost ship, and you will be harvested and recycled. Get it? Yeah.
I can add a Lemurian perspective to that. It's the Atlantean are very hooked on the technology, but if you do it from the other side, the more sacred feminine. I tried to do it in the chat too, but nobody caught on to it. That internet is actually telepathy practice.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
We're practicing until we don't need all the gadgets and the mouse and the trappings.
Well, it's the other night Ninja had we were talking, and it was funny. She asked me who she was thinking of, and I got the visual in my head right away, and it was right on. It was instantaneous, and it's like, oh my. And these are little indicators of connecting. Like you were saying, the internet is Ethernet, right? That's the ether cable, yep. Which is, as you say, it's a perfect allegory, a mimic of what we can already do. And what the technology that we have, all it is to me is to show us what we are capable of without it. In the mirror.
Yep.
The technologies we think we need now either become our crutches that we will lean on, or they will become the tools that we use to find ourselves and do it without it.
That's because those that are creating the technology stem from the same ones who did it in the past.
Yes.
And that is their God. And we have been brought along to believe, because of our head down, that we had to go along with their God. But
yeah, we're not buying it anymore.
No, man. I don't know where you got this fucking shit, but I ain't taking it.
No, I totally agree. It's
dreadful too.
Yeah, I said on Mel V's show, you can take a piece of shit and shine it up and paint it all sorts of pretty colors, but it's still a piece of shit. And here's the other side of it though. You put that shiny piece of shit in the window, somebody will buy it. That's the side.
Well, yeah, then you can make, mass production and assembly lines and sell a whole bunch of shit.
Right, exactly. Welcome to, consumeria, the whore of Babylon, consumerianism. It's beautiful.
Exactly. And then stack them all up in the high-rise buildings and concentrate them all, so all they can do is buy this shit off the walls.
That's right. And you got to get the whole collection, all 28 colors of shit.
$19.95, and just now, if you add, shipping and handling, we'll send you twice for the same price.
Or better yet, for, no shipping and handling, and for shipping and handling, we'll send you a second one. Shipping and handling is $17.95.
Foreskin included.
I know people fall for this shit all the time. So I'm looking at it going, why would I? Never mind. I got two of them, and it was only shipping and handling. How much was shipping and handling? It was $5 more than the actual price. Yeah. Yeah.
How about the Happy Meal shit? The free shop stuff with everything.
Yeah.
That's worse. If you buy it, it's your own free will.
Yeah, exactly.
But the other, oh man, and kiddies, they're targeted.
Oh, totally. Well, made in China toys, and as I call it, landfill, future landfill.
Exactly.
Yeah. Take a walk through a box store, and what do you see? I see future landfill. What do you see?
Shit.
I don't even go into the stores anymore. I got a town 20 miles away from me. It's got about 4,000 people in it, and I have to go there about once a month.
Yeah, like I go down to the shop, maybe once a week to pick up, was it yesterday? I think. Yeah, yesterday I went out and grabbed some cans of beans, and I got some lettuce and tomatoes and tomato juices, a couple other things, bread, and that's pretty much what I do. Or I go hang out with, take a run down to see Jim, or I go up and see Vicky, and stop by, see my puppies, and Sue's there, piss her off, and just breathing and shit. And I just leave her a few bucks, and that's tell her, well, that's all I ever wanted, so there you go. I'm just helping to take care of the puppies, and that's my incessant need to give. And sorry, I'm just being selfish in that one. See what I mean about? Oh, go ahead, Stephen.
Well, I was just going to say we had some great telepathy going in the chat room tonight, and it's wonderful when you when you can realize that we've been talking to each other all day, and we just come together in the chat room for a couple of hours, and we can just love upon each other because we know what we've talked about with each other all day.
Right, and
we do telepathy. We just don't even understand that it's happening all the time.
Well, I remember when you first came into the chat room, you never did those. Remember?
Yeah, never have.
And we can talk all day long about people getting misconceptions of things that are written, but I will hazard to say that you've been in there long enough to see for yourself that you don't need to see everything that's written to know what's being said. And that's this is what Benny was just touching on with the telepathy, and that's exactly what it is. Because during these little conversations, you get the sense that everyone is sitting around the table, and you can hear them. You can hear them, and you get right in the flow of it, and you don't have to write much, and all the concepts are carried. That's the joy of that room. That's why I love bringing people into it, so that they get to experience that. It might take a few days or a week or two or whatever. But then, especially people that haven't done it, then they get into the flow of it, and that room has just lit up over the last month like crazy. It's beautiful. I mean, it's been really busy before in the past and whatnot, but lately it's just. I'm checking it in the morning. There's like 500-600 posts. It's like, okay, well, I can't read all those, but so I'll scroll down and catch the last dozen or so just to get. Oh yeah, okay. But the thing is. And this is why I don't worry about it. And people might get stressed out. Oh, I got to. No, you don't, because you showed up exactly when you're supposed to. Everything else is not relevant to you. And
yeah, I know. I looked back through some of the posts and I realized, no, that wasn't relative to me at all.
Yeah, and so you showed up exactly when you're supposed to. You entered the stream, the flow, where you were supposed to, and you go with it. You go from there. And notice how nobody misses a beat at all.
Yep.
That's telepathy, and that's showing up.
I even got an offer for baked goods tonight.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Good Irish scone, Kate.
Oh, maybe the name should be telepathy.
Yeah, there you go.
Telepathy, I love it. Oh, right, the dictionary according to Bindi. All right, I love it.
Oh yeah, I'm trilingual, so everything goes everywhere. I hate spelling too.
Me too. Somebody threw out tonight. What are you doing, Steve? Throwing out sounds? And I said, no, I don't throw out anything. I just put my intent there, and everything flows.
Yeah, and there's the magic word, and I want to drive this one home again. And when I was talking to Julie today, she was talking to me about and she was talking about feeling the need to do things, and she just went through the process of writing out a bunch of stuff, and that she was thinking of sending or whatever, and I says, "Hon, you don't need to do that. The only thing that I see the value in it is purging to get that camel off your the load off the back of your camel, right?
Unpack.
But then I said to her, I says, what you're dealing with and what we've already talked about, you already have what you need. You just got to make it yours, and that's the I who shall not be named. The intent is there when I wrote it. It is of the affirmative only. Spell is broken. The words are very carefully chosen with the proper intent behind them. Everything is covered meticulously. That's why I take my time when I write things. So if you can grasp the concept and know that the intent is already there, if you can agree with that intent and the purpose behind it, it's yours. You don't have to write it. It's already written. And I will hazard to say that writings of this particular type, I'm the only one I know that does it in this particular way, because I'm your part of your puzzle. So, as you are part of mine. I mean, and here's the thing, and I keep telling people this. Everything, and I told Julie this today, everything that I write is the net result of a co-created me. It's yours anyway. The intent that I'm putting out is the intent that I'm resonating with you. So how can it not be yours? Of course it's yours. Just because I wrote it doesn't make it mine. It most certainly doesn't. It makes it ours. Because I'm writing from that perspective. I'm not writing for me. I'll put my name in there and everything else to show people what I am doing. If you can grasp the concept and make it yours, that's the difference. I write templates, but not everyone can use them. They're meant for everyone, but until you get that concept that the sigils are busted, the language is decoded, the divine feminine has been recaptured, we see where it was trapped, we see the deception, we see the fraud, we just call them on it now. That's all. And she was worried about, wanting to physically do this, that, and the other. I said, honey, you've already done what you need to. And of course, there's nothing I love more than, a Scorpio or a Taurian getting it and just nailing it home. Because there's some serious shit power coming out.
She has no idea what just putting that words down on paper, that put her intent out into the realm, and the amount of power that put into it is incredible.
Well, yeah, one of the things though and I'm glad you brought this up, because one of the things she was saying, as she was writing it, she could sense her anger rising and all the rest of it, and then she would stop and start rewriting again. So that was a beautiful condition, and she told me that. So it was a beautiful rehearsal or conditioning for herself to see where her TLB is, to take that angst and anger and hate and all the rest of the negative and pull it out and get it into the unconditional. And that's
looking into your own mirror.
Yes. And that's the hardest one to look into. And I've said that all along. The hardest mirror you'll ever stare into is yourself. And that's why, me, I'm a stubborn bitch, and I will be a bright shining mirror for anyone that comes to me.
Eris and fire, the cardinal point.
Yep. Scorpio and water, cardinal point.
Oh yeah, direct opposite.
And isn't it funny? Actually, Julie's husband is Aries. So you got
she's
got fixed fire and fixed water. Get out of that.
Yeah, she wanted to talk to me, and I mentioned that to her tonight as the direct opposite. We will talk.
Oh, absolutely. And she's a beautiful soul, and she's found her center. And I remember talking to her about a month ago, and she was in the middle of some stuff, and she is night and day. She has found her center, and again, she's Leo ascendant too, right? And
whoa.
Yeah, no shit. Scorpio with a Leo ascendant, that's some dangerous ass shit there.
We're going to talk about organic gardening, so she's going to have some plants that are going to have some kick-ass fruit, man.
There you go. And again, it's me. I only want to focus on the individual's power, and I had a good chat with Eric today about that. And I said to Eric, I'm at a point now with you that I can come right at you with what you need to know, and that it's coming at you with only the intent to power you up, to get you into that neutral zone, where that garbage that you hold on to and all the rest of it. I told him tonight, or this afternoon, I told him. I said I brought in some grocery stuff. I said, yeah, I got to go grocery and get. I just said, Eric, no, you suck at grocery shopping. You spend too much. You're fucking Scorpio. I'll do that. I'll take care of that. Okay. You worry about what you need to. I got that covered. Okay. So, and he just looked at me and laughed. He said, you're right. I said, well, I'm just observing, right? You put the most dangerous thing to hand a Scorpio is an open wallet. Right? Oh, I want, and then you go get it, right? And that's a hard one. That's where you got to say, I don't want. And that's not sign specific, but it's. I've seen it a lot more with and it's okay. This is the thing. When you can look at yourself, especially the zodiac is a great way to look at yourself as a reflection, as above, so below. You're the allegory. Can you see it? When you see your powers and your weaknesses, right, you got to take the good and the bad with your sign. Not everything in my sign that I've got is good. I'm very fortunate what I do have, and my power points far outweigh those things that will drag me back.
That's because your power comes from your weaknesses.
Exactly.
When you see them and understand them and reflect back, then you get the opposite, which is just the power.
Well, exactly. See, my weakness as a Gemini is think and light. Because it's double positive, I think. So I have to look at the mirror and go, double negative, dark, I don't think. Ah, there's my key to get home.
Yeah. Well, you pinned my ears back the other day.
How did I do that?
Like the knob on the radio. Like the knob on the radio. If it's too soft, it shits. Too loud, it shits. In the middle, again.
Bingo. So how did I pin your ears back, Stephen? You've piqued my interest now.
Oh, well, I love when I pique your interest. Because I am a true Aries. And, yeah. And you brought up my mirror to me the other day, which I knew and understood and had thought about, but you brought it right up to me, and you brought the words out, the ones that I hadn't spoken to myself. And those are, if you am what you am, then can you look and say, I am not what I'm not.
There you go. Mirror, mirror.
Oh, man. Powerful.
Well, again, with me, I had to shut down the most difficult thing to shut down within me, and that's the think, right? And when I was able to do that, I've been able to do it for quite a while now, but it's no easy task, I assure you. I really have to put, I wouldn't say effort into it, but I have to put my attention on it. And
well, the thing is you can go for quite a time, again, but you only get one. That's all. That was German, even, for God's sake, an Irishman talks German to you, shit. But anyway, my experiences have been traveling for years, and but my major shift in my outlook came in 2008, and echo, and it took probably almost 2-3 years to really understand what happened in 2008. So it's good. Not all things come to you right at the moment. You move through them. You may not have the understanding, but if you keep moving forward with it, it'll eventually come clear.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed.
Kissy, you need you need a shot of little Irish whiskey there or something, huh?
No, it's not me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Dante?
Well, somebody needs a shot.
I'm staying out of this. I know better than to pick on a Scorpio.
Yeah, well, Keisha understands what I said.
Oh, yeah.
I'm good. I have my tea here.
Dead on.
Dead on, sir.
I hate when they do that. Now I got to think about what I'm saying, how I'm saying. All right. Oh man, I tell you though, I meant that tonight. As far as going out to hang out with people and have sit-arounds. Nothing I love more than to hit a few different places and do shows from there and have everyone chipping in at the same table while we're at the table. That's kind of cool. I think that's.
Well, I hope there's somebody up in your area. If I was closer, I'd be there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's. I'm just looking forward to the day, which will be soon, where I get a chance just to hang out with you guys in the Five-Side Call.
Oh, beautiful! I can't wait for that.
Well, we'll have to because there ain't too
I'm
many
coming
people.
to Canada or somewhere around that area, by the way.
Oh, are you?
Oh, why? You think I'm missing out in this party? If not, I'm coming, no chance.
I think maybe we'll all come meet at home.
Yeah, that works great, Keisha, until you're about the 5th or 6th day into February. And and tell me how you feel.
You got the wood fire going really good.
Yeah, after you've had enough of winter and you still know there's about 5 or 6 weeks to go, and you go, oh shit.
Hey, did I tell you about my radishes?
No, what's up with them?
I don't know if you know much about have you grown many plants or anything?
Yeah, I used to have a garden at the house.
Okay, well, I'll give you two examples of some of the weird stuff I was talking about last night that everybody needs to pay attention to. I had 5 cabbage plants that made it completely through the winter. They were still alive this spring.
Wow.
Yeah, really. And they produced cabbage heads last year. But the plant stayed on. And so there was 5 of them left. And so I went out, I don't know, might have been back February. And I seen them, and I thought, well, that's different, and never seen that before. And so I just let them there, and see what happens. And so I let them there, and I planted some radishes a while back. And the 5 cabbage plants, out of the 5, 3 of them shot up and went straight to flower and went to seed.
Wow.
And the other 2 are making heads. This is weird shit, man. I don't know how much growing y'all have ever done.
No, that's like, well, I have an allegory. I had my adenoids removed when I was a kid, and damn things grew back. They're not supposed to, so I get it.
So then I put the radishes in, and the other day I was out there in the garden and just looking because I thought, well, it's been a little while, see how they're doing, and I look over there and they're about a foot up off the ground, and I look down below and I can see there's a little radish down there. It's about the size of a nickel. And the damn things went straight up in the air and they're flowering and going to seed.
Wow.
Yeah, it's strange shit, man.
That is weird.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, we're not flying with the clouds above us anymore. We're flying through the clouds.
And I see the allegory of all the seeds that we have been, sowing for a very long time now, some of us much longer, like you, Stephen, are finally coming to fruition. And what's happening is everything is going to seed.
Yes.
And that's perfect example. Again, if you want to see the clue, just look at the illusion around you in the physical, which is again.
Whoa! I have to say something about that real quick.
Sure.
And their illusion of the physical is one thing.
Yes.
But there is another physical that Gaia, Sophia, and us live by and live with, part of, and that is not an illusion.
No, that's the infinite.
Yeah, that's where you have to decide which is real and which is an illusion.
Right. Again.
The original Garden of Eden.
Yes. And the Garden of Eden is between your ears, by the way. And
thank you.
Yes, of course.
Heaven's in the head. That's why I'm an Irish.
But again, and it just to reinforce the idea that the physical is only the manifestation of the thought creation or the intent.
Ah, beautiful.
Sure, projection.
Yeah, that's it. And we are all projecting this. So what we're doing now is we're taking back control of our projectors. That we're not going to be.
My friends used to say we're all outdoor cinemas.
Yeah. Well, again, I
always said you can't bullshit a bullshitter.
On a bet? No,
not a bullshitter then.
I've talked to a few cops. Of course you can. Anyway,
except the damn Taurus,
Just going back a ways, maybe about a year or so ago, I've talked about Saturn being the projector with the hexagon on the bottom, which actually creates a box in the 3D. Two-dimensional hexagon is a box in 3D, and I always saw Saturn, the Lord of the Rings, as the projection that was the projector that was taken over. And of course, what Eric was saying about the moon having been brought in around the time of the Egyptians, that makes total sense, because when you look back through what we can get from history, the only real things that I found that were of any use were the things that were hidden, like the Nag Hammadi and the Sumerian scrolls or tablets and what have you. Those things that were hidden for a specific reason. And of course, when you look at a lot of the hieroglyphs had been distorted and altered and filled in. They found a lot of these, where they actually had mortared in some of the hieroglyphs to change the meanings of them, and very well done. But again, these were the things that were being uncovered, things that were being hidden from us, and the ruse is up, guys. They know it, and all you have to do is look at what they're doing in terms of fear porn ramping up, that for me is a laughable reflection of their fear. It's their fear manifesting into the extent of the things that they have to do to try to scare us, and it's not working anymore. Every day, more and more awake because of the energy vibrations that you guys are manifesting and holding in place. It's like I said to you the other day, Stephen, like from the movie The Postman, the answer was given to me as clear could be, in one of the most beautiful epiphany moments of realization I've ever had. When she turned, Kevin Costner and I can't remember her name, the actress, but they were talking about dancing that night, and he said, "Well, I don't know how to dance," and she just looked at him, and this is what hit me right between the temples. All you have to do is hold on.
Oh man, and that ain't that something.
Oh. And that's all you gotta do. In this dance, this dance of the void.
Yeah, you and your damn jitterbug analogy, though, kind of threw me off.
Well, sometimes it's a waltz and sometimes it's a jitterbug, okay? And
you were spot on though with what I was feeling. It was a weird, strange day.
Yeah, you were all over the map. I've had many of those days. That's why I know the jitterbug. That's the most common dance I have to dance. Lately, it's been like yesterday and Sunday. That was jitterbugging, and today. This is a mild waltz, and occasionally, well, actually, the last 2 days are more like tangos, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it's all we got to do is hold on, and while we take our masculine, intentful ego too far to try to lead the dance, what we need to learn to do, this is for me. This is what worked for me. Was I had to learn to be led in the dance, to be the divine feminine. My intention is already there. All I had to do was learn how to let go of it.
Tantra dancing.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
So, and that for me is the re-grasping of the divine feminine. That is the swan. That is Cygnus. And again, these are. I got to tell you guys, every day the allegories get clearer and clearer, and that's that Polaroid finally coming into focus, and it's all because I let go. It's all because I'm just, and here in the process of letting go, all I have to do is hold on. You see?
It seems like a breakdown. It's actually a breakthrough when we can see it.
Oh yeah, and it's all there, and I think all I'm trying to share is. Like in They Live, I'm just trying to pass around the glasses. Check this shit out, And, some will and some won't. And
I think it's interesting how you've used the word I so many times.
Yeah, there you go. What was that?
Oh, keep projecting, Kate. Kate, because the veil just gets thinner and thinner.
Doesn't it, eh?
I'm waiting for the time then we all can give up this whole shit of veiling.
Yep.
Nothing is veiled, nothing's nowhere hidden, just in plain sight.
What are we all going to do? Dance naked in the moonlight?
Well, I will, but I'll probably confuse the shit out of a few people.
Steve,
hey, Vanessa, I make a great Taurian. Tits on a bull, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Steve, I'm getting a lot of messages from you, darling.
Yeah, you and I, we somehow we connected on this. I
Big
don't know.
Time. Big time.
But there we go. There's the dance. The dance that you have to hold on is the one you have to let go. At the same time, there's your neutral point. By letting go of the lead, now you can be led and lead at the same time just by holding on. It's a beautiful 0 point.
Let go of the lead or the leash?
Bindi. Oh yeah, you're my newest favorite Scorpio.
How about the lead or the lead? All spelled the same way.
Yeah.
One's a very heavy metal, and the other one is
lead or
just being run around by the nose.
Exactly. Yeah.
Led Zeppelin or Lord Zeppelin, yeah, right.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, you want to go Zeppelin? You want to go Zeppelin tonight?
Oh, I love Zeppelin, don't get me wrong.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah, I mean, a lot of the lyrics from, especially the Stairway to Heaven album, excuse me, very powerful. I mean,
I'm into Florence and the Machine at the moment. That lady, I don't know if she knows it, but she's awake.
Oh, she's great.
Hey, Kate, did you like my my sendings of the Jethro Tull the other day?
Yes.
Wasn't that
it's a great album? Aqualung is a great album.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
the one with Piper. Yeah.
Psalm 43.
Yes.
Steve, you looking for another wife, Penny Chance?
Do what?
Are you looking for another wife, Penny Chance?
No, I have one. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
But the offer
just thought it offer anyway, you know.
But you know,
throw it on there.
I have a few more lives to go, probably. So you know, I don't know. I told you I haven't been to Ireland for about 400 years, so we'll see.
Oh, it's by the time you get home, isn't it?
Well, I'm working on it, my friend. It's been a long traveling trip.
Right on. Well, listen, we got ourselves about 4.5 minutes here. Do you guys want me to finish off with a tune? I've got one I'd like to play.
Well, you're the boss.
Oh, I'm not.
Good night.
Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams.
Exactly. Yeah, we got about 4 minutes here, so I'm going to put on Because Tonight. I haven't heard that one in a while, so it was looking at me going, play me. I said, okay. So listen, great big thank you to all you guys. Always a pleasure and a treat to hang out with you guys every single night. You know, like I said, these are the moments I wait for and I live for, and I'm just happy to be here and hang out with you guys. So, much love.
Love all.
Get back at you, thank you.
Thanks, Kate.
Bye-bye.
All right, hang in there, guys. I'll play this, and then we roll off, okay? So much love, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow night. Love you all.
Okay.
Yeah. Night, Eric.
Night, Eric.
Good night, Steve.
Good night, Jim Bob.
Good night, Jim Bob.
Good night, John boy.
Wow, why does it feel like it's pumped up? You guys.
Love all.
Love all.
Hope tomorrow finds me safe in the arms of love. I pray tomorrow comes and you'll be there. In your eyes the dreams we promised we would see. Come tomorrow, bring the dawn of you and me. Because tonight feels a lot like forever. Every moment hangs in silence without you. Because tonight is not somewhere I wanna be. I need you near. I need you here. Because tonight being here without you just isn't me. When you see the stars tonight, do you remember? You still taste the wines of passion deep. And wake tomorrow, do you miss the night now gone? Was there enough to hold your heart for me? Because tonight feels a lot like forever. Every moment hangs in silence without you. Because tonight is not somewhere I wanna be. I need you near. I need you here. Because tonight being here without you just isn't me. Can't spend my whole life running faster, leaving in my wake the only dream. You are the only one. You're my day. So I hope tomorrow finds me safe in the arms of love. I pray tomorrow comes in your